It is Labor Day. Labor Day. So as is tradition, let's get this out of the way.
We're pretty sure we're going to have a great one, and I want to make sure everybody watching right now has a great holiday weekend. You guys better have a great Labor Day.
That's right. We had a rough week. Now it's time to enjoy yourselves.
Enjoy yourselves.
So get out there, get some food, get some watermelon,
That's
get some
right.
hot dogs, get some juicy fruit, and just enjoy.
Enjoy yourselves. And before we go, I think it's time we sing our traditional Labor Day song as we leave you guys tonight.
Sure.
That's right. Now, we do this at every grill party. This is called Labor Day. Labor Day.
Oh, Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Cutting some watermelon on Labor Day.
And we're grilling some food.
On Labor Day.
And we're cooking some meat.
Here on Labor
Labor
Day.
Day.
And I'm catching squirrels and putting them on my grill because I'm fruity.
On
Labor Day.
And what can you do this holiday?
Labor Day.
And what else is good for this day? Mustaches.
Mustache
Labor
rides.
Day. And finally, heat up that grill on
Labor Day.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great holiday weekend. You sing the song, you do the grill. Good night, everybody.
You just got cooked.
That's right. What's cooking, everybody?
That's my streamer. That's my streamer. That's my streamer. What was that? It's the classic Labor Day song, of course. That's culture. That's of course. I love that. I love that clip. I don't know. I could give context if you're unaware, but there's part of me that's like, maybe it's better without context. Did I end up finishing Master Detective Archives yesterday? Yes, I did. That game was finished. It actually lasted a little longer than I thought, but that's because there was like an epilogue to the game and stuff, so that added like another 30 or so minutes. It was good. I give that game a solid 3 out of 5. It is a solid good game. And had some interesting moments. I gave more thoughts about it, obviously, at the end of the game, but yeah, I like the game. A good 3 out of 5 game is good. 3 out of 5 means good, in my opinion. Let's load it up. So, yes, today's stream, we're going to be reading Umineko, and then maybe for 2 or 3 hours, and then I think I want to also play some Cuphead after that. So that's what we're going to do here for this afternoon stream. And then I'll part ways, and then, I'll be back most likely tomorrow night. Unrelated question, go ahead. Type it as I load this up, as I think about where the hell this thing is. There we go. Mind your ears as I click this. I'm going to turn that down slightly. There it is. Look at that. If I redeem the Choose Next Stream song, would it be possible to specify next Umineko stream? You know what? Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, the answer is yes, both ways. I mean, next Umineko stream is gonna be tomorrow, if that's what you mean. If you mean you're gonna redeem it like today, but yes, if you're like, I will allow. If you're like, hey, I want this song to be related to what you're playing, go ahead and type that up. I'll save. I'll hold on to it, and we can do it for the next Umineko stream. That's fair. I've had some interesting requests and ways of playing songs in the past with that. So, who am I to say no to such a thing? You should have linked it. It's fine. I'm good at finding things. Unless Unless it's really difficult to find, then I generally, I'm like, hey, give me a little bit of credit, you know. But yeah, okay. For next Umineko stream. So most likely, unless something drastically changes tomorrow evening. Because that's good. That's the plan. So this upcoming week. So we're doing today's thing, reading some Umineko, playing Cuphead afterwards. Tuesday night, I think I also want to do more Umineko. Stick to the normal Tuesday kind of things we've been doing with that. Wednesday, I think I'm starting Starfield. So that should be interesting. Friday, I don't know what I'm going to play, but it most likely is going to be more Starfield or Cuphead, I would imagine. And then Saturday night, we'll be back in the Umineko. So that's what the upcoming week looks like. Just for the schedulers out there. So where were we? You don't particularly care about Starfield? Understandable. I think it's just gonna be the streams where I just kind of probably it's gonna be, I mean, the way I play Bethesda games like that, it's not have a serious time. Obviously, it's gonna be, and I have no need or want to like go through it fast or anything. So it's gonna be very much like, you know, there's my streams where it's like, okay, we got to make progress in things and we want to like move things along, and then there's like the games where I'm just like, it's just chill. We're gonna hang out. I'm gonna hang out. I'm just gonna relax, just have fun, kind of, you know. And that will it'll fall into like that kind of category in my head. Another series on the channel that'll probably just last forever, because I'm also very much not a like main quest person in those kinds of games. Really, I just kind of, I mean, I do the main quest obviously at some point, but I don't go fast. So Umineko, we got through the first section here. I did everything I could. Yeah, I played Final Fantasy to completion's sake, except for the arcade fights and a new game plus, because I don't have time for that. I just can't do that. But yeah, I would say I'm probably not going to play Starfield like I played Final Fantasy for sure. In that I'm not like going to sit there and try to do fucking everything, because the game is just massive. I wouldn't be able to do that. Let's see. So we got last time. Let's see. Last time on Umineko, we crushed Natsui's safe space. Yes. I was trying to trying to be like, what? Huh? But yes. Let's see. We got introduced to one new character. One new character got teased. Some young-looking girl, with blue hair. Wonder if we'll see more of her. I believe someone. I was checking out the comments, because I trust me, I look at every comment that comes up my way on YouTube. And someone watching the archives on YouTube is like, oh, my favorite character, and I assume they're referencing her. But I have no context. Why is she good? Why is she great? Why is she bad? I have no idea. But shout out to that comment. Shout out to that commenter. Just leaving it super vague. I like that character. Let's see. So we did that. Battler facing off against. We were in the middle of seeing the setup for the game that the Gremlin girls were doing. I'm just gonna start calling them that. Lambda and Bernie. I froze there. They're running the game. They're doing things differently, apparently. Battler's having a hard time reconciling, continuing the game. I think he's caught between a couple hard places here, where he's like, shit, Angie. And then he's also like, shit, Beatrice. And so he's like, I don't know what to do. Almost like decision paralysis, but not. where he's just like conflicted. Conflicted is probably a good word. I don't know. Oh, I don't want to do. But he's also like, I don't want to just play into the two witches' hands of Burn Castell and Lambda Delta, it seems. Like, his rebellious spirit is very much like, hey, I don't want to just do what they tell me to do. Yet I'm kind of stuck in this hard place where I kind of have to potentially help Angie, the Angie, and potentially Beatrice, who he loves. It was destined to happen. It was destined to happen. I didn't get to show this off because I saved off stream last time. Look at this nice, clean save pages. They're all just clean. It's great. And then we stopped right before we got introduced back to Jessica. So yeah, the last thing we immediately did was almost cruelly, is that the word? It's not cruelly, cruelly, full of cruelfulness. We and I think it was established in the game where like they were like, Battler I think was like, we didn't have to do this to her. This has nothing to do with the fucking game. He was like, we're just being cruel to Natsui here. She was having a great imaginary friend type situation with Beatrice, and we just took it away from her. Yeah, and then Bernie hit him with the I do not care, or we do not care. So we're seeing Natsui be a little the sympathetic Natsui role here. Also Natsui is doing the whole like, hey, everyone, if we believe hard enough, then Father's still alive. Are we all on board? And then the waitstaff was like, yes, I still want my job. So we will say yes for the sake of basically you're our boss. So I feel like we can't say no to this. And she's like, great, power dynamic. And they're like, yeah. We saw the Kraus. The K names always get me sometimes. Kraus did his thing. More exposed dumbness. We had an intermittent meme corner where we got to review some Kraus is dumb financially and everything else memes. So that was good. We also saw the little heavy quotes romance section of what seemed to be Natsui's and Kraus's kind of origin of their relationship thing, of their relationship kind of starting, it seemed, if I'm remembering correctly. And I think that's all to review. Oh shit, I already... Fuck, sorry, I clicked too many times. Hold up, Jessica. Hold up! Okay. After dashing to her bedroom, Jessica answered the phone call that had been transferred there. Ah, hello? Sorry to keep you waiting. Battler. What do you think you're doing not contacting us for 6 years? How's it going? Oh, really? How the hell do I know? Shut up. Me as I'm listening to one side of a phone conversation. So that means you'll be coming to this year's family conference, right? I mean, it's been 6 whole years. It's so I've probably brought this up before, and we're 5 episodes in at this point, so maybe it's not novel to bring it up, but like the roller coaster of like high tension moments to like the low, like, oh, everyone's happy and everything is seemingly good. It's sometimes it's so jarring because it's like it feels like last episode we were like on high intensity, like we were just like fucking always like one straw away from like just everything just unraveling, like everyone's minds just becoming mush. And then it's like now we're just calm music is playing, Jessica's answering a telephone. Very normal stuff. She's just shooting the shit with Battler. Everything is peaceful and calm, sorta. we take these moments. 5 businessmen in expensive suits are visiting in the parlor, giving Kraus and Natsui a progress report on their business. Spread out on the table were the blueprints and designs for a building, as well as documents related to expenditures and the like. So packed that even a teacup would have gotten in the way. Officially, they were here to give Kraus a progress report. But in actuality, Kraus had called them all the way over to Rokujima so that Natsui could hear from them directly. This was because Natsui needed to hear someone other than her husband explain what condition their business was in. Because Kraus... oh boy. In other words, even though another family conference without Kinzo was approaching, their business had not yet earned them any money. Just an incompetent fool, apparently. After telling the guests to wait for a short while, Kraus took Natsui out into the hall and once again summarized the situation. In short, they say the work is proceeding even better than we imagined. Sorry, I had to check something there. Okay. This is where my personal connection to the governor really starts to pay off. By now, it's absolutely impossible for this catch to get away from us. That's not what the narration said. Yeah, this very much was like a moment where it was like, he's like, oh, everything is so great. Business cannot be any better. And then like narrator voice comes over and it's like, in fact, it could be a lot better. It couldn't be any worse. それどころか、例の委任状だけでなく、これまでの損失さえも一気に取り戻すことが可能なくらいの大きな話になりつつあるのだ。To the contrary, it's growing so big that in one go, we'll be able to regain not just the power of attorney, but everything we've lost up to this point as well. Kraus spoke passionately. This made it seem all the more suspicious to Natsui. But this time at least, she had to admit that everything really did seem to be going well. Certainly, this business Kraus boasted of had expanded in scope over the last year. It was promising an even greater payoff than had been anticipated initially. Whether it would prove to be a winner or not, investors had gathered around it, and they were rapidly gaining funds. This must be what they mean when they say money summons money. It was probably the greatest success of Kraus's life so far. No, it probably would be his greatest success yet. That point was where Natsui's misgivings lay. True, it was certain, and as Kraus had said, they wouldn't lose this catch now. However, the fish on the line had gotten too big. Oh no, it's too big. We'll definitely be able to reel this fish in. Does he not believe in, like, jinxing the situation? Like, I'm just saying, like, there's no need to rush. It's such a success that I wish I could show it to father if he were still alive. Yes, I know. However, I believe you made me a promise last year. You said you were sure you could imagine something within a year. A pained look rose to Kraus's face. They certainly had hooked a fat fish that guaranteed great success. However, it would require an appropriate amount of time to reel it in. Fishing metaphors. Natsui pressed Kraus, asking if there was any way for them to make money before this year's family conference. But Kraus kept saying that he needed just one more year. Kraus planned to use this unprecedented success to catapult them into further challenges in the future. Because of this, he didn't want to do anything that would raise suspicions by making it seem like they were rushing to get money. Certainly, fortune tends to turn against people who take it for granted even in the slightest. Anxious beggars never prosper. On many occasions before now, Kraus had gotten cold feet and sold off businesses that would surely have brought in a profit he had just waited, and had, in fact, given away his winning picks. Natsui also knew this. She knew that guts were the thing her husband lacked most. That's why she was unable to refuse when Kraus said he wanted to prudently wait just one more year. My husband sucks.
順調でよかったではないか。
How wonderful that things are going well.
ということはどうやら私はもうしばらくここで幽霊を続けねばならぬようだな。
It would appear I'll have to sit around here as a ghost for a little longer.
まんざらでもなかろうが。
You don't look too disappointed.
そなたの命などこの世を去ればすぐに悪魔どもに食い尽くされる運命よ。
You're fated to be chewed to bits by demons the moment you leave this world.
申し訳ありません、お父様。
My apologies, Father.
また今年もお父様にはお休みいただけないかもしれません。
Yeah, that's a good point. For one more year, you might not be granted peace.
よい、気にするな、夏日。
It is fine. Fear not, Natsui.
後ろ宮家当主はすでに私ではない。
I am no longer the Ishiromiya family head.
書斎の幽霊はおとなしく、現在の当主の命令に従うべきだ。
The ghost of the study should obediently follow the current head's commands.
クラウスの資料は
Ghost of the
読
study.
ませてもらったが、なかなかに悪くない。
I've taken a look at Kraus's charts, and they aren't bad at all. Goes from Ishiromiya head to ghost of the study. I'm just the ghost of this room.
お父様からご覧になってもですか？
Even from your perspective, Father?
わらわから見てもなかなかのものよ。
They're pretty good even from my perspective.
誰もが勝利を確信し、相当の魔力が集中している。
Everyone is confident in victory, gathering together a significant quantity of magical power.
その結果、さらに勝利が熱くなり、ますますに人と魔力を集め、黄金を生み出そうとしている。
As a result, that victory is growing even deeper, involving more and more people and magic, beginning to create gold.
錬金術の王道を見事に体現しているぞ。
A perfect embodiment of classic alchemy.
おお、
Oh!
黄金の魔女の太鼓判までつくなら、これは心強い。
If you've earned even the Golden Witch's approval, that is very reassuring.
喜べ、夏日。
Rejoice, Natsui.
このクラウスの事業は必ずや後ろ宮家の危機を救うだろう。
This business of Kraus's will save the Ishiromiya family from its crisis without fail.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
そしてそのためにまた。
And if you would once again...
うん。
Indeed.
もう一度、親族会議を乗り越えねばならんな。
We'll have to overcome one more family conference, won't we?
ええ、
Yes.
昨年はうまくやり過ごせたつもりですが、不審に思う親族も現れるでしょう。
I think things went well last year, but I imagine some of the relatives will find it suspicious.
今年は正念場になると思います。
I think this year's conference will be a critical time.
去年の親族会議の時、
During last year's family
ひょ
conference,
っとしたらもう一度同じことになるかもしれぬと予見したそなたは正しかったな。
you were correct to predict that the same thing might have to happen again.
最悪のケースを想定するのは、魔女ならずとも世渡りの基本だ。
Even for those who aren't witches, preparing for the worst case scenario is one of the basics for getting on in this world.
それで、今年はどうする？
So, what will you do this year?
去年同様、 会議当日はお父様の秘密を知る使用人を集中的に配置します。
Just like last year, I will see to it that a high concentration of the servants who know Father's secrets are there on the day of the conference.
お父様の不在を気取る親族もすでにいるかもしれません。
Some of the relatives may already have noticed that Father isn't around.
不用意な演出はむしろ馬脚を表す危険性もあります。
A careless show might actually put us in more danger of exposure. Indeed.
過ぎたるは及ばざるがごとしとも
It is said that too much is as bad as too little.
なればどうする
Then what will you do?
今年は昨年とは逆に最後まで書斎をお出にならないという筋書きでいこうと思います。
Unlike last year, I think we'll go with a plan that has you staying inside your study until the end.
それがよかろうな。
That would be suitable.
籠城は単純にして最後の切り札だ。
Barricades are straightforward and simple, a final trump card.
どれほど屋敷が毒素に満ちようとも、
No matter how strongly the toxin fills this mansion,
この部屋を密室結界に閉ざす限り、金蔵の存在を否定することはできぬ。
as long as the closed room barrier remains around this room, it'll be impossible to deny Kinzo's existence.
それはわらわも保証する。
I guarantee that myself.
だが、籠城すれば囲まれるは必至。
However, in forming a barricade, it is inevitable that you will be surrounded.
承知しています。
I know.
それでも何卒もう一度だけお父様とベアトリーチェの力をお貸しください。
Even so, I beg that both of you lend us your power just one more time.
私は新しき当主の命令には逆らえぬ。
I cannot disobey the orders of the new head.
そして幽霊もまた聖者の命令には逆らえぬしな。
Furthermore, a ghost cannot disobey the orders of the living.
この部屋から出るなというのであればそれに従おう。
If you tell me not to leave this room, I will obey.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
わらわは嫌だぞ。
I'm not satisfied.
力を貸せと願われても、願いごときでは聞いてやれぬ。
If you want me to lend you my power, I won't listen to a mere request.
ええ、
Yes.
あなたは古文錬金術師
You are the family alchemist.
ですから貸せと願いません。
So, I won't ask you to help.
貸しなさいと命じます。
I order you to help.
あなたの魔法だけが頼りです。
Your magic is the one thing we can rely on.
その力でもう一度だけお父様の幻想を。
Use that power to create an illusion of father just one more time.
ならばよし。
Very well.
心得たぞ。
I hear and obey.
そなたの貫禄、なかなかに心地よし。
I find your confidence quite pleasing. Them. From the shadows of the study, Battler watched the exchange between these three.
なるほどな。
I see.
そして今年の親族会議を迎えるわけだ。
So we've made it to this year's family conference.
じい様は不機嫌だからと書斎に閉じこもり、誰の前にも姿を現さない。
Grandfather was in a bad mood, so he shut himself in his study, didn't appear in front of anyone. Natsui spoke boldly about how she would somehow overcome this year's crisis, protect the Ishimiya family's honor until the end, while Kinzo praised her, saying that her plan looked promising. Byato also praised her, saying that Natsuhi's dignified confidence was even more well suited for the headship than Krause's. However, right now, the true number of people in this room was 1. The moment I thought that, no, just because I thought it, Byato grabbed at her chest and moaned.
安心しろ。
Don't worry,
ここはゲーム版のまだ外だ。
this is still outside the game board.
だから俺はそこにいるお前やじい様を否定はしない。
So, I won't deny you or grandfather over there. She looks pleased. I put my head on Byato's. I put my hand on Beatos as she tried to hold back to the pain. Back. I can't speak. I put my hand on Beatos as she tried to hold back the pain deep inside her chest. I've already told Bernkastel. The 2-day period of the 1986 family conference is all I need to deny the illusion of the witch.
お前は前回全ゲームの開始時にじい様が死んでることを赤で宣言した。
You know what? You know what? I'm in Battler's side. If you love someone, fuck it. just be like, hey, everything else doesn't matter. All right? I'll say that you're magic and you don't exist just during the 2 days. I give Battler a lot of shit, but you know what? I'm in Battler's corner right now. Me and Battler, let's fucking go. What do I always say? I love love. Go, Battler, do this thing. Be weird and unreasonable. Just say random shit. It's fine. In the last game, you said in red that grandfather's dead at the start time for all games.
しかしゲーム開始以前のじい様の生死については言及していない。
However, you never mentioned whether grandfather was alive or dead before the start time for the games.
つまり今この場にじい様が存在していても何の矛盾もないってわけだ。
In short, even if grandfather exists in this place right now, that doesn't create any contradictions. Blue text. I just got washed with blue. My hand touching her let off a faint blue light, which seeped into her chest. That light tenderly wrapped itself around the splinters in Beato's chest. Oh, I'm healing her with the blue power. I'm healing her with the blue flavor. Blue flavor is the best flavor of anything.
そしてこの場にいるベアトリーチェの存在だって否定することはできない。
And I also can't deny the existence of the Beatrice in this place.
ゲーム版の外、すなわち1986年10月4日以前の島の人数については赤で宣言されていないんだ。
The number of people on this island outside the game board, in other words, before October 4th, 1986, has not been proclaimed in red. What's a blue flavored ice cream? What's a blue ice cream flavor? I'm sure I've had some kind of ice cream that's blue colored. I'm pretty sure I've had like a birthday cake flavored ice cream that's blue or mostly blue, because it has mostly like blue colored like icing swirly bits in it. I feel.
だからここにベアトリーチェが存在しても何もおかしいことはない。
Therefore, there's nothing strange about Beatrice existing here. Beatrice's expression softened slightly. My blue light slowly began to melt the red splinters that denied the illusion of the witch. Oh, she's coming back. Come on. We're going to spend this whole episode just bringing Beatrice back to life. And then, like, the climax of this episode is going to be like Beatrice, like, coming full back. She's like, and then we'll proclaim. She's like, she's fucking back right now. And then she's going to, do her laugh thing. It's going to be great. Gum-flavored ice cream? Ooh. If I had gum-flavored ice cream, I really don't. Oh, I'm sure I've had, like, cotton candy-flavored ice cream that's maybe blue. Right? Maybe? Sometime in my life. If it was like straight up like bubblegum flavor, I hate bubblegum flavored stuff. That stuff makes me gag. Just in general, like I think like artificial bubblegum flavor just is, I have like some in my brain, like some bad association with just like bleh, bleh. This is called End of the Golden Witch, the episode is, yeah. Beata still wore the same sad expression, but she lifted her face. What if End of the Golden Witch doesn't mean like the end of Beatrice as like a character, but the end of her as like a witch, right? What if this whole thing, because of what Battler has to do, what if she's like removed from the shackles of like being a character that's a witch, and then she just gets to become just a person. She just gets to be herself, and she doesn't have all the ties to being the Golden Witch, right? That would be, if I had to think about the title End of the Golden Witch, I don't think I can't believe that we would be ditching like Beatrice completely. To me, that seems like you're releasing her from the ties of the title of the Golden Witch kind of thing. That would be my thought. Beato still wore the same sad expression, but she lifted her face and looked me straight in the eye. Though she was my one eye. Though she was silent, her eyes told me that her pain had subsided. The feelings that showed in her eyes were gratitude for taking the pain away, and appreciation, or was it surprise, for leaving even a tiny bit of leeway for witches to exist. Unable to look directly at those pure eyes of hers, I reflexively averted my gaze.
誤解すんなよ。
Don't get the wrong idea.
魔女の存在を認めたり、あるいは屈したつもりもね。
I don't plan on accepting the existence of witches or surrendering.
俺はお前とのゲームに勝つために、その部分だけに徹してストイックに戦いたいってわけだぜ。
I just want to let that part slide and fight stoically, so I can win this game against you.
ゲーム版の外でまで嫌がらせをするほど趣味は悪くねえからな。
I have no desire to bully you outside the game board as well. Beato hung her head. I was still facing away from her. However, we waited wordlessly for a while, my hand still on hers. By now, no one would believe that this sad-eyed woman was the same person as that prideful Beato. So, I asked once more. Even though I said it out loud, it wasn't a question to her. I was asking myself.
お前は
Just what in the world
一体何を考えていたんだ。
were you thinking?
そうさ。
That's right.
俺はラムダデルタのゲームを通じてでもお前を探さなくちゃならない。
Even though this is Lambda's game, I have to find you here.
お前が何を考え、何をしようとしていたのかもな。
I have to find what you thought, and what you were trying to do. Very soon, this game will also reach October 4th, 1986. The 5th game will finally begin, and this time, I'll reach the end. The end of that journey.
殺人がとかトリックがとかそういう上辺だけじゃない。
I'm not worried about the surface level stuff, like murders and tricks.
お前が黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェが何を考え何のためにそうしたのか。
What did you, the Golden Witch Beatrice, think? And why did you do what you did?
何を望んでいたのか。
What were you hoping for?
それをたどる。
That's what I'm gonna find out. That's right. I already know how I can reach the end of that journey. It's been made clear to me since the very beginning.
今こそチェス盤をひっくり返そう。
Classic battler. This time, I'll spin the chessboard around.
この物語を俺側からじゃなく
I read this tale not from my side,
お前側からの目線で
but from
物語
yours.
を紐解く。
Oh, I cut him off. Speen with a touch of sad. With just a bit of melancholy. He says spin.
そして今度こそお前を理解しよう。
And this time, I'll understand you.
そしてお前の心臓にたどり着く。
I'll pick my way to your heart.
痛みなんか感じさせない。
I won't let you feel pain.
安心しろ。
Don't worry.
あの魔女どものおもちゃになどもうこれ以上させないからな。
I won't let those witches use you as a toy anymore. Beato looked up at me again and gave a small nod. That's right. The position of Game Master might have been snatched up by Lambda Delta. However, as long as I continue this contest with the intent of fighting against Beato, our fight will continue no matter who controls the game board. Very soon, the curtain will rise on our game. Yeah.
今年の親族会議でも親方様の秘密を隠さねばならん。
At this year's family conference, we must conceal the master's secret once again.
はい、
Yes,
心得ております。
I understand.
同じ手がもう一度通じるか疑問だな。
I'm a little doubtful that the same trick will work twice.
奥様も同じご懸念を持たれている。
Madam shares your concerns.
そのため今年は書斎から一切お出にならない方向で行くことになった。
Because of that, it was decided that this year he will not leave the study even once.
つまりずっと書斎にこもられていることにするというわけですか。
In other words, we'll make it seem like he's been shut away in his study the whole time?
うん。
Yes.
そして書斎に入ることが許されているのは
And the only ones allowed to enter the study
我ら3人片翼の翼を許された使用人だけだ。
are the three of us, the servants permitted to wear the one-winged eagle.
とい
One-winged
うことは
eagle.
僕たち3人で親方様の嘘を突き通さなくちゃならないわけか。
Which means the three of us will have to perpetuate the lie about the master.
そうだ。
Correct.
親族の方々は親方様の具合や機嫌などを問い詰めてくるだろう。
Relatives will probably question you about the master's health and mood.
よどみなく答え、不審に思われることがなきよう注意するように。
Make sure you answer without hesitation and see to it that nothing is seen as suspicious.
はい、
Yes,
心得ました。
I understand.
姉さんはすぐドジるからな。
I'm sure you'll screw up right away, Nissan. Rude! Jesus, Cannon.
むしろ当日は風邪か何か理由をつけて欠席した方がいいんじゃない？
Maybe it's better to say you have a cold or something so you can skip that day. Man, he literally just said, Shannon, I know you are a very bad actor. Maybe don't come in.
そんなひどい。
That's mean. Cannon wasn't just making fun of her. He only wanted to release Shannon from the burden of working on this most serious of days.
源氏様、
Genji-sama,
シャノンがシフトに入る必要はないのでは？
is it really necessary for Shannon to be on duty?
僕たちだけで十分やれます。
We can manage things well well enough without her.
それはできん。
That I cannot do.
奥様から我ら3人は必ずシフトに入るようにとの厳命だ。
Madam gave strict orders that the three of us be scheduled to work on that day.
はい、
Yes,
やり遂げる覚悟です。
I am prepared to perform my duties successfully.
ドジらないでよ。
Don't screw up.
どじりません。
I won't. Shannon grew sullen and Cannon shrugged. Then Genji told them that they weren't taking this seriously enough.
シャノン、カノン、
Shannon, Cannon,
すでにお使いする親方様はお亡くなりになっている。
the master we serve has already passed away.
しかし、本当の意味でお亡くなりになるまで我らの奉仕は続く。
However, until he has truly passed on, we will continue to serve.
あの書斎は無人ではない。
That study is not empty.
今なお親方様がおられ、日々の研究に勤しまれているのだ。
The master is still there, hard at work on his usual research.
それを深く心得よ。
Make sure you take that to heart.
はい、源氏様。
Yes, Genji-sama. Sure, Genji. Oh?
お父様がすでに亡くなっている。
The chatter. Father has already passed away?
そんなバカな。
That's insane.
まあまあ、
Settle down.
例えの話や。
It's only a possibility.
武田信玄はその死を3年の間秘密にするよう遺言したっちゅう有名な故事があるやろ。
It's well known that Takeda Shingen, I don't know, said in his will that his death was to be kept secret for 3 years.
知らんか？
Know about that?
そんな話もあったかしら。
Is that how it went?
日本史はよくわかんないわ。
My Japanese history isn't so great.
当時武田は織田や徳川との戦の真っ最中だった。
At that time, Takeda was in the middle of a war with Oda and Tokugawa.
そこで信玄が死んだなんて話になったら戦況に悪影響が出るやろ。
If people learned about his death at a time like that, it'd probably have had a bad impact on the war.
そやから自分の死を3年隠すように遺言したんや。
Because of that, he left a will saying that his death should be kept hidden for 3 years.
秀吉かてそうやで。
Hideyoshi did the same thing, right?
主君織田信長の死を敵方に知られんように徹底的に情報規制を行い、
He totally suppressed information about the death of his master, Oda Nobunaga, so that the enemy wouldn't find out.
素早く毛利と和解して中国大返しを行い明智を討ったんやないか。
Quickly made peace with Mori and defeated Akechi in the Battle of Yamazaki. Please stop making me read these Japanese names I'm so bad at. Please.
一方の柴田勝家はそこで失敗したんや。
On the other hand, Shibata Katsui failed at this.
敵の上杉に信長の死を知られ、思わぬ反撃を受けて足止めを食らい、
The enemy, Uesugi. My English is so bad. I can't even. Alright, learned of Nobuyuki's death. So Shibata had to deal with an unexpected counterattack and got slowed down.
その後の秀吉との後継者争いで大きく遅れを取ることになったんや。
He definitively said, "Oh, you want no more Japanese names? Alright, I'm gonna keep going further. I'm doubling down." That's why, later on, he suffered a great loss against Hideyoshi on the fight for the succession. Hideyoshi, who had a strong fascination with the commanders of the Sengoku period, would always show off his knowledge when he got the chance. Show off? Wincing slightly even made him get back to his point.
早い話が、
Focus.
わしは
Focus,
去年
Hideyoshi.
の親族会議から
So, basically, the whole time since last year's family conference,
ずっと違和感を取ったんや。
I felt as though something was strange.
あれは私やルドルフが遺産の話をしてたのを廊下のお父様に聞かれてしまって、それで。
You mean the time when Rudolph and I were talking about the inheritance and father overheard us from the hall?
そこや。
That's just it.
夏井さんや使用人たちはどこそこにお父さんがいた。不機嫌そうだったと口を揃えたが。
Nasui-san and the servants kept saying father was here or there and that he seemed to be in a bad mood.
わしら親族は誰一人お父さんを見てないんやで。
But not a single one of us relatives saw father, right?
もしあなたの想像が本当なら。
If what you're thinking is right,
どういうこと？
what does that mean?
兄さんが遺産の独り占めを狙ってるということ？
Does it mean Nissan's trying to keep all the inheritance for himself?
もちろん死んだことを隠すなんてかなり危険なことや。
Of course, hiding someone's death is a very dangerous thing to do.
果たして遺産を独り占めするためだけにそれだけのことをクラウスさんがやってのけるのか。わしも確信は持てん。
And all things considered, I'm not sure Kraus-san would be willing to do it just to have the inheritance to himself.
だが可能性はある。
But it is possible.
確かに兄さんは昔から強欲よ。
Well, it's true that Nissan has always been greedy.
兄弟全員でと受け取ったものを着服するなんてよくあることだったわ。
He always used to take things that were meant for all the siblings, keep them all for himself.
クラウスさんはわしら兄弟の中では一番裕福なはずや。
Kraus-san is supposed to be the richest of the siblings.
そんなクラウスさんがお父さんの死を隠すなんて危険を冒してまで遺産の独り占めを目論むとは。
Kraus-san scheming to keep the inheritance all to himself to the point of accepting the risk of hiding father's death.
わしにはちょいと信じられんのだがな。
Sounds a tad unbelievable to me.
だがそう疑いたくなるくらい去年の親族会議はおかしかったんやで。
Even so, last year's family conference was so strange I can't help but wonder. Even the others were painfully aware of how reckless it would be to try and see Kinzo when he was in a bad mood. So, during last year's family conference, once they asked about Kinzo getting into a terrible mood, they never made an attempt to contact him. That was why, to this very day, they hadn't found it suspicious that Kinzo had never appeared. It certainly is worth suspecting. But I wonder if Nissan really would do something as appalling as hiding father's death. For all his pride, a man has a coward side to him. Would he really make such a once-in-a-lifetime bet? He's desperate. He may be a coward, but he's so desperate. Either way, it'd probably be a good idea to make sure we get a chance to meet with Father during this year's conference. Good luck, I say to them. The rumors are really bad. Sounds like Aniki's business is failing even worse than we'd imagined. Like he's taking massive losses, and he's giving it all he's got just to try and cover it up. Kyrie. My favorite. Now I just gotta really lean into it. Anytime Kyrie's on screen, fuck it. Abandon all professionalism. That'll make it very difficult to borrow money from him. Yeah, I could cry. Wouldn't being in financial stress also weaken Kraus-san's position in certain ways? Weaken his position? Well, investors tend to have a keen eye. Even if they hear that he's actually low on funds, they won't want to have anything to do with him. I guess trust is the most important part of that business. Kyrie smiled thinly. Rudolph was taken aback by that smile. He'd figured that his plan, which involved raising money to get him out of his current mess by borrowing from the affluent Kraus, would all come to nothing now that they knew Kraus himself was in financial trouble. We got the mischievous bongo song playing. Whenever the bongos start coming, I don't know what else to call them, but the mischievous bongo song. Confidence in Kraus-san's abilities might be a requirement for his own business in the future, but isn't necessary for our future. Are you suggesting that I blackmail him? I wouldn't want to if it were me. For one blood sibling to take another one down is no laughing matter. Rudolph felt a shiver go up his spine at Kyrie's cold smile. At times, Kyrie was able to throw away all compassion and think in an extremely ruthless manner. Whenever he saw that, Rudolph knew he'd never like to have her as his enemy. I'd rather not threaten Oni-san if we had any other way to get money. If there were another way, we wouldn't be worrying. Don't you think it's a bit pathetic to waste time worrying about a problem when you have no other options? Dots. Rudolph stopped talking, folded his arms, and lowered his gaze. He still felt some of the terror he'd experienced thanks to Kraus's violence when they were young. And now, that same Kraus was the one he needed to threaten. Rudolph would also be fighting against his childhood trauma. So to give her husband a little push, Kyrie smiled reassuringly. And perhaps coldly. I've never been a fan of doing work based on trust.
失う時が一瞬なんて割の合わない投資はない。
It takes hard work to build up trust, but only an instant to lose it. There's no less profitable investment.
そうだな。
You're right.
世の中100の信用より1枚の新札だ。
All the trust in the world isn't worth a good banknote.
クラウスさんが大きな損失を出していると言っても、
Even though Kraus-san has been taking on massive losses,
私たちの急場をしのぐためのお金くらいは十分用意できるはず。
he ought to be capable of getting enough money to buy us some time.
もちろんクラウスさんのこれまでの信用を換金してお金を作ってもらうことになるけ。
Of course, he'd probably be forced to cash in all the trust he's built up so far.
こいつはやばい話になるな。
This is gonna get ugly.
十分な備えが必要よ。
We'll have to prepare sufficiently.
私たちには時間も失敗も許されてない。
We haven't been given any time or room for failure.
そうだったわね。
Isn't that right?
私の京都の友人たちにそういうのを洗うのが上手な人たちがいるわ。
Among my Kyoto friends, I know a few who are talented at this sort of investigation.
あまり世話になりたくない連中なんだけど、一度会ってもらってもいい？
I'd rather not be indebted to people like that. But do you want to try meeting them?
領収書は切れないけど、きっと投資に見合うだけのものを調べ上げてくれるわ。
You can't expect people like that to offer you receipts, but I'm sure they'll dig up something that makes them worth the investment. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Happy Labor Day. Labor Day. Just saying Happy Labor Day to everyone. Rosa says, yes.
マリアも元気よ。
Maria's doing well too.
そちらは大きなお世話よ。
That's none of your business.
ありがとう。
Thank you.
え？
Huh?
さあ、スケジュールを見てみないとわからないけど。
Well, I'll have a look at my schedule. Today Labor Day is Labor Day. That is so true. Yeah, what the hell? You come in right when Rosa is like, Maria's doing well too. That's none of your business. Thank you. Alright, Rosa. Oh, Jesus. This face. Rosa was talking to Rudolph over the phone. Rosa rarely received calls from her older siblings, so she braced herself for something serious. Well, truth is, I want to have a little talk about the next family conference without Aniki.
エヴァ姉さんとルドルフ兄さんと私の3人で？
Between you, me, and Eva Nissan?
頭痛の増えそうな話ね。
Sounds like a headache. I can't go into the details over the phone. But I think you'll find it worth listening to.
それはいい話？
Something good? Of course. Aneki's all for it.
姉さんが？
Nissan is? All we want is your approval. We aren't gonna ask you for money or anything like that. The most important thing is that the three of us stick together. Got it? Rosa let out a sigh. She did so because in the past when Rudolph and Eva got into a fight with Kraus, they always used to talk to her like this right before dragging her into it.
先に教えて。
First, tell me.
その話は私も得をする話よね。
I stand to gain something too, yes? Yep. The three of us will each grab 200 million out of this. If all goes well, we might be able to squeeze out more. That should be enough to handle your debt, right?
それはいつまでにせしめられるの？
And when can we expect to grab this by? Of course, it'll be within a year. I need it. Aniki needs it. And you need it too, Rosa. All three of our problems will be settled.
姉さんが話に乗るくらいには勝算があるのね。
So, the chances of success are good enough that Nissan's agreed to it?
話を聞く気になったか
Now do you want to hear?
ちょいと急だが次の日曜日の19時銀座のお前のお気に入りの喫茶店で会おう
I know it's a bit sudden, but let's meet next Sunday. That would be 7 o'clock at that coffee shop you like in Ginza.
俺と姉貴の予定がそこでしか合わねえ
That's the only time Aneki's schedule and mine match.
問題ないか
Any problems? Oh, they're just so busy people.
2億捻出できる話なら聞かないわけにはいかないわ
If we're talking 200 million, I'll have no choice but to listen.
では次の日曜日の午後7時にレオポルドで
Then let's meet at 7 p.m. next Sunday at Leopold's.
マリアちゃんによろしくね
And Maria-chan?
連れてきてもいいんだぜ
You can bring her too if you want. Rose is gonna be like, no. I thought about it, no.
あの子の前でお金の話はやめて
Don't talk about money in front of that child. She set the receiver down with a clunk, a little violently. Apparently, either Eva or Rudolph had gotten a hold of one of Krause's weak points. They would probably threaten him with that at the next family conference and force him to pay up. Even before hearing the details, she knew full well that it would be nothing good. But even so, this might be her once-in-a-lifetime chance to pay back her large debts. Rosa took a notebook out of her handbag and started to mark the day she'd be meeting with Rudolph and Eva. Then, she frowned and smacked herself hard in the forehead. Because written there was DZL with Maria, something she had planned to do with her daughter. Great! Maria was in her... Oh, here we go. Alright, Maria was in a room playing around excitedly with Sakataro... No! Sakataro and the others. That was because she was going to go to that recently built amusement park, Disneyland. The following Sunday. Oh, we avoided. Okay, looking at the clock, Rosa saw there was just past 9 at night. Maria was breaking the lights out rule. After covering her face and agonizing for a while, Rosa stood up and stomped over to Maria's room. The room would probably be a mess as well. At least tonight, that was convenient. As she stood outside the door to Maria's room, listening to the happy laughter seeping through, Rosa's face twisted in anguish once again as she looked at the floor. Then, when she raised her head again, her brow was furrowed, and her face had become an ugly expression of anger. Disneyland. Oh, are we zooping out of there? We're like... The weather wasn't that great. According to the weekend forecast, a certain tropical cyclone would likely grow into a large typhoon. If unhappy premonitions tend to be right, this year's family conference will probably take place in absolutely horrible weather. No, I wish a typhoon large enough to stop all boat travel would seal Rokenjima away forever. If that happened, I'd be able to hide Kinzo's death as long as I wanted.
台風が彼らを永遠に遠ざけてくれればいいのに。
If only the typhoon would keep them at bay forever. Natsui let out a deep sigh. Just doing that made her headache throb. As the day of the family conference approached, the intensity of her headache just kept on increasing. At that time, the phone rang. Natsui turned the TV off and picked up the receiver. Moshi Moshi?
Hi.
Ah, no. Hello?
お休みのところ申し訳ございません
Moshi Moshi? I apologize for calling during your rest.
源氏でございます
It is Genji.
何事ですか?
Is something the matter?
奥様に外線からお電話でございます
There is a phone call for you from the external line.
ですが名前をお名乗りになられません
However, they will not state their name. Oh, the iPhone is telling them scam likely. And Genji picked up the line no matter what. It's the 80s. It's the 80s form of of getting that scam likely message and it just being like Genji's like, "Well, guess I'll pick it up."
名乗らない?
They aren't saying their name?
はい
Yes.
先方は話せばわかるとは申しておりますが
The person in question said you would know when you spoke with them.
いかがしますか
What should be done?
いたずらかもしれません
It might be a prank.
どんな相手です？
Oh no, they're gonna ask you if your refrigerator is running. What do they sound like?
おそらく若い男性ではないかと。
I believe it was a young man.
お心当たりはございませんか？
Any idea who it might be?
若い男性？
A young man? Natsui didn't have a clue who that might be. In the first place, there was no one amongst her acquaintances who would do something as rude as refusing to state their name. And on top of that, a young man? As a wife, she must avoid any contact that might be considered suspicious with anyone other than her husband, much less a young man. Jesus. Oh, the old traditions. You can't, as a woman, as a wife, you can't have any contact with a man who is outside of your husband. It only spells trouble. As soon as she thought this, the phone call suddenly seemed like something dirty. But despite that, she also wanted to know what they wanted to tell her. The allure of a prank caller is too great. Could it be some kind of trouble related to Krause's business? What if there was some particular reason they needed to talk to Krause's wife instead of Krause directly? No matter what it is, it's my duty as a wife to listen and report to Krause. If it's some bizarre threat, I just have to firmly refuse and inform Krause I received such a phone call. If it's something offensive, I just have to tell Genji to never send me anonymous calls again. As Natsui thought this, just as Genji was suggesting that he hang up on the man as though that's what she'd naturally choose, she told him to connect her to this person. She then set the receiver down. After a short while, the phone rang again.
Moshi moshi.
Moshi moshi. Moshi moshi? I love that. I love moshi moshi. Hello? This wasn't the internal line. It was the external phone line, which Genji had redirected to her. Has this turned into a horror movie? So it should already have been connected directly with the mysterious man. However, the person on the other end didn't respond. Not liking this at all, Natsui spoke one more time, sounding displeased.
Moshi moshi.
Moshi moshi? Hello?
誰ですか?
Who is this?
名を名乗りなさい.
Tell me your name. She heard something that sounded like a sigh. She gulped reflexively. After remaining silent for a little longer, the man finally answered. The hell is happening? It's been a long time, huh? That was the first time the man had spoken. Just how long has it been? How many years?
何の話です?
What are you talking about?
あなたは誰ですか?
Who are you? The voice certainly did sound like a young man's, but it's hard to learn much about someone just by their voice over the phone. It sounded like a young man, but it might actually be a middle school aged boy. Or a man in his prime who still had a youngish voice. No, wait. Might be too soon to be sure this is even a male. However, one thing was certain. That's so we could think of no one who would speak to her in an overly familiar manner like this. It'd be easy for me to tell you my name. But that would make me very sad. This music track, I know we've probably heard it before in this, but I just now was able to place it. This sounds like something straight out of Catherine. If you're familiar with that game. As like something terrible was happening in Catherine. But that would make me very sad.
何を言っているのか分かりかねます.
I don't, Catherine? Yeah, Catherine, the game by Atlas. It has like the same like string like tones where it's like brr, 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 like staccato-y like abrupt like brr, brr, like I just like flashback to that. I don't know what you're talking about.
あなたは誰ですか?
Who are you?
そして私に何の用ですか?
God, I know a lot of people might not have liked Catherine or certain sections of Catherine, and I get it, but I loved Catherine. I love Catherine. And then I loved replaying Catherine as the full body edition I mean, not super recently, a little while back now, but love Catherine. I'm a sucker for it. You don't know shit about it, but you love the word Catherine. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I love the dumb things that game does. Sure, it looks like it might be one of the scenes when Vincent was freaking out over something. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This just reminds me, and like the slight like horror-y like aspect happening right now reminds me just of like, I mean, there were moments in Catherine where Vincent like would pick up his phone and he's like, "Who is talking to me?" And it was like a voice, and he's like, "I don't recognize the voice." And like there was like, this was like beat for beat like a thing that was happening that had happened. I'm like having like Catherine like flashes in my head right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Who are you? And what business do you have with me? If you can't tell me that, I'm not interested. Stop trying to sell me things. I'm hanging up. What I want is for you to remember. And what is it that you're telling me to remember? I don't know you, so I have nothing to remember. I'd like to remind you of your car's extended warranty. What I'd like for you is the three wacky digits on the back of your credit card. And your mom's maiden name. Please do not say that. I am your child, am I not? What the fuck is happening? Are we talking illegitimate child? Are we talking about a... did Sakataru get some balls? And this is Sakataru like, I'm your child. Is this Maria? The ghost of Sakataru. Wait, no, not Sakataru. Why am I thinking Sakataru? For like a second, I confused Natsui with Rosa. I'm sorry. Don't roast me. I'm just saying random shit. I'm trying to come up with jokes. I said the wrong thing. Natsui didn't create Sakataru. Don't look at me. Don't look at me. I need the YouTube comments not to say anything right there. Don't you say a thing. If you do, I'm fragile and I'll cry. All right? don't look at me. Don't perceive me. Don't look behind the screen. All right. What did you say? Oh, what are you talking about? Do not say things that will make me so sad. Mother. Oh, this is exactly the type of plot I needed right now. I needed a secret child from Natsui here. I need this is the type of family drama plot I can really get behind. This is my type of shit. This is my kind of drama. That unsettling word thrust itself mercilessly into the depths of Natsui's heart and started churning it about. In her entire life, Natsui had never been told something so unsettling. In her bewilderment, Natsui felt her heart beat so loudly that it felt like it would explode. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what you're planning, but I'm hanging up. I came back for revenge. Revenge for your crime of 19 years ago. Natsui's mind went blank, and from beyond the wind howling outside the window, she most certainly heard the roar of the sea from that day. So? You actually do remember, do you not? I told you, I don't know what you're talking about. Never call... Sorry. Never call here again. I have not forgotten how you treated me 19 years ago. To curse you, I still call you mother despite that. No, because of that. The family conference will be here very soon, right? I am your son, mother. Yes! I will come on the day of the conference. Yes! Yes! Inject this into my veins. Let's fucking go! After 19 years. So I can have my revenge on you. Click. Breathing so hard her shoulders heaved. Natsui slammed the receiver down and hung up. Then she hit the phone violently, knocking the receiver off, so that no more calls would come through it. I can hear the roar of the sea. That voice, my face when I learn I have my 19-year-old son trying to call me. That voice I hear from beyond the howling wind is certainly... Even if I could cover my ears, the headache won't... Completely pale, Natsui kept shivering, as though cold. Not shriveling. Lambda, are you there? Yes, I'm here. I'm anywhere you want me to be, Burn. Then crawl into the cupboard under the kitchen floor. Or in a jar of rice bran paste if you like. Oh, you're gonna dip me in bean paste and bite into me? But then I'd rather you dip me in honey. In return, I'll cook you in sugar water. At least make it sweet soy sauce with sweet sake. So what's up? You gonna make me repeat something? That's right. Is Natsui's phone conversation here real? They really are. They're just a couple of freaks, honestly. Lambda Delta grinned unpleasantly, as though sizing Burn Castell up. She was probably trying to tease Burn for making that demand. You refuse to repeat it? Well, now... Should I refuse, or should I respond? As a game master, that's up for me to decide, and I get to make that decision anytime I want. Unless I stayed in blue, you aren't obligated to respond. That's it? Giggle, giggle. For now, you're stuck wondering about Natsui's secret of 19 years ago, okay? Make sure you're sitting on the edge of your seat. Of course, this fishy telephone call happened before October 4th, 1986. This is still before the start time of the game. The games. So there's basically no need to question whether it's true or false. Since you, the game master, went out of your way to show me this, I'll take it as a preparatory move for something else. It might be a trick, but I'll at least keep this move of yours in my memory. So, you'll leave without turning the card over? Ouch! What? Direct attack. Direct attack, you lose 2,000 life points. After suddenly being conked on the head, Lambda Delta was bewildered. But perhaps this incomprehensible exchange was funny to her, because she quickly went back to giggling. Just chaos. Are you done preparing the game board now? Yeah, that's right. Now I'll finally move on to the game. On to October 4th, 1986. I wonder what number October 4th, 1986 this is. The Endless Witch, huh? Beatrice? She truly is a frightening child. Any moves from your side, Bern? No. If you refuse to repeat what I asked, then I'm done. Turn end, right? Untap, upkeep, draw. Untap. Is this Magic? Magic the Gathering phrases? For reference? I don't know. I had a phase of I was a young kid and I was really into Magic for like 9 months. Come. October 4th, 1986. Excellent. Excellent. All right, let's start the games. The setup is done. Maybe. Hopefully. Seemingly. I hope whoever this 19-year-old boy man is, hope it's exciting. I'm excited at the prospect of a random child Matsui had. This rose garden really is a masterpiece. It's gotten even more awesome than it was 6 years ago. You're so lucky to have this as your yard. Are you kidding? For me, just makes it a longer walk to the harbor, and that's a real pain. Ah, George. Oh, we haven't seen George in a while. Hey, what are you doing, George? That's a pretty luxurious worry. Nah, she's here too. Getting to say hi to the roses every morning must be awesome. You must get late after saying hi to so many roses. Shame about Angie, though. I hear her stomach gets upset easily, right? Yeah, when you get turned into a burger, I think it's your stomach. It's hard to apparently. It's probably her intestines that are weak. She's almost always got the runs. Okay. You shouldn't say something like that about a lady. Sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot. Nothing comes out of a girl's butt but marshmallows, right? So, Angie got sick and the marshmallows turned into syrup. I couldn't even say it with a fully straight face. What a shot of this dialogue. That's great. All right, okay, that's really way over the line. Whoa, heyo. George must have hit him so hard it just took him out of the screen. George and Jessica slammed a knee and a fist right into either side of Battler's gut. Whack. Smack, thud. The smack thud was probably the sound made when his knees hit the ground as he fell over. Normally, Battler possessed the good sense you'd expect of an 18-year-old man. However, it seemed that this reunion had brought him back to the mental age he'd been 6 years ago. And bit by bit, Jessica and George realized they were also returning to the way they'd been back then. Natsui gazed at this charming chat through an open window in the hall. Madam. Kraus-sama is searching for you. I'll go in just a bit. It isn't even lunchtime yet, and I'm already tired. God, I think I probably said this way earlier in the series, but like, just tired Natsui is so relatable. Just like, I feel she just clearly she's getting tired because of like the mental stress and how she has to keep up like this lie basically to the rest of her like conniving bitter family and everything. But also, I just on a level I relate to her where she's just like, oh my god, another year, another social obligation I gotta be a part of, and I actually hate my fucking family. Here we fucking go. Oh, here come the headaches. Like, I relate to that on such a level. It's so relatable. Just a few moments ago, the sparks had already started flying between them and Eva's group. The others had pounded on Kraus and Natsui over and over to get Kinzo out of his study. Apparently, they hadn't been fully tricked at last year's family conference after all. There are no problems with father, right? Correct. Leave it to me. Shannon and Cannon are also fully prepared to handle today's arrangements. I know. Kumasawa is a good liar, so I'm not worried about her. But I am a little concerned about Dr. Nanjo. I get the feeling he's bad at hiding things. Leave that to me. Yeah. I intend to support Dr. Nanjo from nearby as much as possible. Damn, Genji's having to run, like, protection. He's like, I gotta be next to Dr. Nanjo this whole time. So he doesn't slip up. It's so reassuring to have you there. It truly does help a lot. Without your strength, we wouldn't be able to succeed. I am honored by your words. Don't worry. The closed room barrier on the study is perfect. As long as the barrier remains unbroken, no one will be able to expose Kinzo's secret. Yes, I understand. Still, you heard that conversation in the parlor just now, didn't you? Indeed. Let me see this. By the way, if we do go back and check when the relatives are growing Nanjo about Kinzo, he's always been extremely awkward about it. Yeah, I that feels right. I wouldn't be surprised that's now we have like reason for why he's just weird. And before we knew that necessarily, he'd probably just be like, we'd always just be like, oh, that's just Nanjo. He's just like that. He's just a nervous fella. Beatrice says, indeed. It seems that some considerable suspicions were aroused last year. The terrible toxin has accumulated and is being spread all around.
やはり今年が正念場になりそうですね。
Seems this year's conference really will be crucial.
今年を何とか乗り越えることはできようが、仏の顔もなんとやらだ。
We might be able to overcome this year somehow, but there is such a thing as pushing our luck.
さすがに来年は無理と心得た方がよかろうな。
It's probably best to assume that next year won't be manageable. Well, then tell fucking Kraus to get his ass into gear, dude. With this much of the magic-resisting toxin filling up this place,
来年の親族会議でもゴールドスミス教の魔法を維持するのは難しいでしょう。
it'll probably be difficult to preserve Lord Goldsmith's magic for yet another family conference.
誰ですか、あなたは。
Who are you? Who are you, beautiful man?
ああ。
Oh.
驚かずともよい。
No need to be surprised.
わらわの家具頭を務める男だ。
This man serves as my head furniture.
はじめまして、夏日奥様。
Greetings, Madame Natsui.
ロノウェと申します。
My name is Natsui. My name is Renove. I took my eyes off the screen there for a second.
どうぞお見知りおきを。
It is a pleasure to meet you.
頼れる男だ。
This man's reliable.
この男にも密室結界を守ってもらう。
He's also helping to protect the closed room barrier.
そうですか。
Is that so?
後宮夏日です。
I'm Ishiromiya Natsui.
あなたにも協力をお願いします。
I thank you for your cooperation.
はい、奥様。
Of course, madam.
魔法世界からお手伝いをさせていただきます。
I will be aiding you from the magic world.
どうかお任せを。
Please rely on me.
ついでだから私も紹介してもらおうかしら。
It's Gap! In that case, I guess I'll introduce myself next. I love, dude, I love the commitment to the bit. All right, so in Umineko, it's like, okay, one of the things I love about this is that we introduce a character, then they've got to be referenced and shown, and they got to appear. They make an appearance throughout each episode. Like, they got to come back. Once you introduce a character like that, that character is going to be someone's favorite, and so they got to come back. And so, like, here, we see the best thing where, like, Natsui's like, all right, I'm being introduced to the world of magic and everything. And then you just have everyone come rolling out. Like, it's like, all right, we got to introduce the rogues gallery of, like, all these witches, where it's just like, I'm here too. It's the fucking, I imagine, like, you know, like in The Sound of Music, when the kids are, like, introducing themselves during that song, I always get the visual of, like, they're all lined up. And then Renove steps up and he's like, my name's Renove, and I work directly with fucking Beatrice. And then he steps back in line, and then Gap says her thing. She's like, my name is Gap, and I make holes in the ground. And I think that visual only makes sense if you know what fucking scene I'm talking about in The Sound of Music. But I just imagine they're all lined up, and it's like anytime they get introduced, they just have to like, all right, it's my turn. My name's Gap, and then they say something quippy or something. In that case, I guess I'll introduce myself next.
Hi, Riche.
Hi, Riche.
ご無沙汰。
Long time no see.
ガープか。
Ah, Gap.
そなたまで来てくれるとは心強い。
Oh yeah, we gotta get the Chester sisters in here. It's got everyone has to come back. Everyone, come on, let's go. Let's get it all over with. I'm glad to see you're here as well.
遊びに来ただけのつもりだったんだけどね。
Well, I only came to have some fun.
手がいるようだったら声をかけて。
If you need an extra hand, let me know.
はじめまして、マダム。
Nice to meet you, madam.
挨拶するのは初めてだけど、私はいつだって誰のそばにでもいるわ。
This is the first time I've said hello, but I'm always right by anyone's side.
こちらのガープはなかなかのいたずら者。
Gap here is quite the prankster.
先日、奥様が自室にてお召しになろうとして、床に落とし見つけられなかった頭痛薬。
Remember that headache medicine you dropped on the floor of your room and lost as you were getting dressed?
ガープの仕業でございますよ。
Gap was the one behind that.
確かに置いたはずなのに見つけられない小物があったら、こやつのいたずらを疑うがよいぞ。
Ah, she's the trickster. She's a trickster god. Whenever you set something small down somewhere but can't find it later, it's always a good idea to suspect that it's one of her pranks.
わらわも昔、ずいぶんとからかわれたものだ。
Long ago, she used to tease me all the time.
そうですか。
Is that so?
いずれにせよ、ここは後ろ宮の屋敷です。
In any event, this is the Ishiromiya mansion.
当家にいる間は当家に従っていただきます。
As long as you are here, you will obey us.
よろしいですね。
You understand, correct?
もちろんです。
Of course.
心得ております。
We understand.
魔法世界での源氏と思い、どうぞいつでもご用命ください。
Think of me as a Genji of the magic world. Give me orders whenever you wish.
私にも客人の心得はあるつもりよ。
And even I know how a guest. Excuse me, and even I know how a guest is supposed to act.
家主の顔は潰さないわ。
I won't let the landlord lose face.
ロノウェもガープも頼れるぞ。
You can count on Renove and Gap.
しかし、魔法の世界と人間の世界は表裏一体。
However, the magic world and the human world are two different sides of the same coin.
分かってます。
I understand.
もちろん、私も人間の世界から努力します。
Of course, I'll do all I can in the human world.
力を合わせて、お父様の秘密を守りましょう。
Let's work together and protect Father's secret.
うん。
Indeed.
いつもの展開だな。
This happens every time.
どうせ翌日にならなきゃ話は進まねえ。
Looks like we won't get anywhere until the next day.
まあそうね。10月4日は私にとっての準備ターンみたいなものだし。
Well, sure, October 4th is like a prep turn for me.
バトラに何もする気がないのなら、10月5日までのんびりしててくれていいのよ。
If you don't feel like doing anything, why don't you just sit around until October 5th?
6人死んだら呼んであげる。
I'll call you after the first 6 die. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Of course, that was an incredibly irritating way to put it. The fight won't start until the crime occurs. However, waiting for the crime to start would mean turning a blind eye towards the murders of the first Twilight. In other words, it'd be the same as being content with the fact that 6 people would die.
知ってる？
Did you know?
チェスの先手と後手では先手の勝率が2倍とも言われてるのよ。
They say that in chess, the player who moves first is twice as likely to win. Is that true? Damn, is that why I always lose my chess games? Because I always love playing reactively. I think that's a personality trait thing, though. I think I like to see, I much rather react. I always lose then. Damn, odds stacked against me. Although that can change as the tactics of the match progress.
後手はドローを狙えれば上々とか言われてるんだっけ？
Don't they say the second player has a much better chance at a draw?
先手必勝くらい俺も知ってるぜ。
Even I know the phrase, the first to strike wins. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, I guess. Because if you're the player who gets to go first, you kind of, especially in, like, I would assume, like, really high-level chess, like, things, where it's, like really high level, like, higher level, where, like, you have 2 people that are, like, actually know what they're doing. You get to, essentially, you get to dictate the flow of the game, I would assume. So it's like, oh, then the second player is forced in that, like, defensive kind of, like, position, basically. It makes sense in my head. Even I know the phrase, the first strike wins. So, what are you trying to say? This is why you're so incompetent.
本当に。
Seriously.
いい？バトラー。
Are you listening, Battler?
10月4日にだって解くことができる謎は存在するわ。
There do exist puzzles that can be solved even on October 4th.
何が解けるか
Know which... Oh, know which one I mean?
まさか。
You don't mean...
あ、いや、しかし。
No, but...
まあ見てなさい無能のバトラー
Well, watch and see, Battler the Incompetent. Let's all point and laugh at him. I have a general idea of what these witches are talking about. I've tried solving it several times myself in the past, but I still haven't found anything resembling an answer. On the contrary, I still can't believe... On the contrary, I still can't even understand why that puzzle exists. That's right. The reason it exists. Why did Beato prepare a puzzle like this in the first place? We all discussed it together from time to time in past games. However, I assume they're talking about the riddle of the epitaph, right? However, I've started to avoid thinking about it, under the assumption that there's no point in trying to solve a riddle that can't be solved. This time, I should change my viewpoint. I shouldn't just focus on the surface level stuff, like the truth of the riddle and how to solve it. What's more important is why that riddle was set up in the first place and displayed for us to see. That's what I should be thinking about. And the one proposing that riddle is Beatrice. Even if I can't solve it, I should be able to try and figure out what Beato was thinking when she showed it to us. Okay, this time, I'm spinning the chessboard around. The witches keep calling me incompetent. Let them laugh. Let them doubt me. They aren't my enemies. I'm continuing our match. Beato. Speen. It's only appropriate. I started the stream with the Vinny clip, the Labor Day Vinny clip.
Oh.
He goes, oh.
とうとう降り始めたようやな。
Looks like it's finally started raining.
やれやれ。
Dang.
土砂降りは心の中だけにしたかったもんだぜ。
Wish the only downpour was the one inside my heart. Oh, how poetic. The people in the parlor noticed the raindrops that were starting to drip down the window.
これで親族会議が終わるまで私たちには逃げ場なしってわけね。
Now we have nowhere to run till the family conference ends.
それは兄さんたちだって同じよ。
Same thing goes for Nissan.
逃がさないわ。絶対に。
I won't let them escape. You can be sure of that.
こっちのカードは悪くないのよ。
The cards we're holding aren't bad.
兄さんは虚勢を張ってるだけだわ。
Nissan's just bluffing.
絶対に屈服させてみせる。
I'll make certain he surrenders.
取引っちゅうんはな。
Well, there's more to a deal than making your opponent lose.
相手を任すもんとちゃうで。
You gotta get a pitfall ready.
落としどころを用意しておいて、相手に花を持たせて、自らに座らせるもんなんや。
Praise them a bit and convince them to stand on it their own accord.
秀吉さんの言う通りだわ。
Hideyoshi-san's right.
さっきの話もちょっと追い詰めすぎよ。エヴァ姉さん。
You pressed them a bit too hard last time, Eva Nissan.
兄さんにはあれくらいでちょうどいいわよ。
That was perfectly reasonable considering it's Nissan we're dealing with.
なんだ、ローザは寝ちまったのか?
Huh. Looks like Rosa's fallen asleep.
朝が早かったとぼやいとったな。
I'm not sure, but I think there are some new sprites. I don't remember that Chiron. Yeah, I was gonna say, I kind of felt like that one maybe we hadn't seen before. She was complaining about how early she woke up this. Speaking of sprites, the joke's past, so I won't be doing it. But sometimes, I make the subtle whatever adds to thumbnails and stuff. I was gonna go to try to check out just Spriter's resource or something, or just find them maybe somewhere just with a Google search or something of a sprite thing. But I am so afraid to do random especially sprite searches and stuff, just out of fear that I'm gonna see something I shouldn't. So I'm just whatever. I'll just make sure I don't. I'll just make sure I don't spoil myself somehow. She was complaining about how early she woke up this morning. Well, guess there's nothing wrong with taking a nap.
下手すりゃ今夜は徹夜だ。
Sorry, I had to look at something. Okay, there's a chance we might be forced to spend all night on this.
今から仮眠も賢いかもな。
Getting a nap now is probably a smart idea. Out of consideration for Rosa, who'd fallen asleep on a sofa, the others quietly left the parlor. God, can you imagine? Just imagine being adult. I don't know. How old is Rosa? How old is Rosa supposed to be? She just falls asleep on a couch during this high intensity. Just the worst. She's just unhelpful. Rosa, incompetence personified. She's around 35. Jesus. Just a full-ass, a grown-ass adult woman just falling asleep on the couch as it rains. And they're planning this like family like coup de grace type moment, and she's just like, I'm sleepy. I spent too much energy abusing my child. Out of consideration for Rosa, who'd fallen asleep on a sofa, the others quietly left the parlor. Unaware of this, Rosa slept. After telling Maria to just stay where she was after that tantrum over not being able to find her rose, Rosa slept, unaware that the rain had started. Excuse me. Unaware that the rain had started to fall. Honestly, I applaud it. Good for her. Good for her. She's able to do it. Oh, there we go. There she is in the rain. The rain poured down. And wake my dreams. As though it had been saving up this whole moment. Wait, has it been saving up this moment? I just added whole. Of course, Maria noticed that the rain had started falling and was soaking her to the bone. However, that just made her even more stubborn. Unable to find the poor, slightly unhealthy rose that she herself had marked, she just couldn't stand having that search be interrupted by something like the rain. So the more the rain fell on Maria, the more stubborn she grew, as she wandered through the rose beds. And as she did, from behind Maria's back came a patter, patter, the sound of approaching footsteps. Then, the footsteps landed in a puddle, making a small splashing sound, and Maria finally heard. Is this, we got it, we're starting the games! We gotta hand her the envelope thing. However, even the slight distraction of that sound irritated her, and Maria ignored it.
Konnichiwa.
Hello? Oh. Maria turned around, bewildered. After all, that voice was one she didn't recognize at all. On the sealed-off Rokenjima, that voice belonged to no person she knew. Steam sound. Random steam noise. Kraus-sama. Madam. I was looking for you. Something important has come up. Kraus and Natsui had been privately discussing what should be done next in a deserted corridor on the 3rd floor. Genji had searched everywhere for them. What is it? It must be something more urgent than a few sheets getting soaked in the rain. What is it? Has some sort of blunder been made? A short while ago, someone arrived at the mansion, claiming to have drifted here after an accident at sea? Drifted here after an accident at sea. Okay. Kraus and Natsui couldn't help but go wide-eyed and stare at each other. This was the first time they'd ever heard of someone coming to this island uninvited. Someone drifted here? Is that true? The poor thing. Treat this person politely, like a guest. I'm sure we won't regret this. What are they doing now? Dr. Nanjo is performing an examination. He hasn't finished yet, but from what I could tell by looking, the drifter seemed tired but uninjured. Thank goodness. Natsui and I are having an important conversation right
終わ
now.
ったらすぐに見舞いに行こ
When it's over, we'll go check on this person.
う。そ
Go
の
to check.
漂流者にはぜひくつろいでほしいと伝えたまえ。
Please tell this drifter that we want them to feel at home.
かしこまりました。
Certainly. When Genji bowed deeply and started to leave, Natsui called him to stop. Genji stopped walking, and Natsui jogged up to him.
源氏
Genji?
その漂流者は
Is
男
this
ですか？
is this drifter a man?
いいえ。
Oh, she's just like, hopefully, okay, Natsui is like, hopefully it's just not that person on the phone that I had a panic attack about. No.
お嬢様くらいの若い女性でございます。
She is a young woman about the same age as Milady.
女性？
A woman?
そうですか。
I see.
結構です。下がりなさい。
Farewell. Back to your work. The parlor of the mansion was bustling. The adults gathered, worrying about the health of the sudden guest.
まあ自力でバラ庭園まで歩いてこれたなら命に別状はねえだろうね。
Well, if she was able to walk all the way to the rose garden by herself, her life probably isn't in danger.
転ばぬ先の杖やな。
It always helps to be prepared.
ライフジャケットのおかげやろ。
It's probably all thanks to the life jacket.
あれがなかったら溺れ死んどったかもわからんで。
Without that, she might have drowned.
どんな子だったの？
What kind of girl was she?
ジョージやジェシカちゃんより上？下？
Older or younger than George? Or Jessica?
ジェシカお姉ちゃんよりは下だった。
She was younger than Jessica.
ライフジャケットと水着だった。
She wore a life jacket and swimsuit.
ヘトヘトみたいだった。
It looked like she was all tired out.
漂着したのが船着き場のあたりだったなら本当に不幸中の幸いね。
If she washed up somewhere near the harbor, that must have been a rare bit of luck amid disaster. Also, I just woke up. What's the name of the achievement I just got? It was like, you're not alone or something. Here, let me check real quick. Yeah. You are not alone, and then description, something's different this time. If she washed up somewhere near the harbor, that must have been... Okay.
もし島の反対側だったら大変だったわ。
It would have been terrible if she landed on the opposite side of the island.
しかし気の毒ね。
Still, you have to feel sorry for her.
この天気じゃきっと船も来られない。
With this weather, the boats won't be coming.
明日いっぱいまで彼女もこの島に釘付けかしら。
I imagine she'll also be stuck on this island all day tomorrow. At that moment, the door clunked open and everyone looked in that direction.
皆様、お茶はいかがですか?
Would anyone like some tea? It was Goda and Cannon, with the latter pushing a serving cart laden with a tea set. Goda understood well that doing a little extra at times like this would earn him points. The relatives, hungry for information, crowded around Goda. He ordered Cannon to serve the tea, became the sole object of the relatives' attention. God, he's just an attention whore. Attention whore, Goda.
ゴダさん、どうなんだいその子は。
Goda-san, how's that kid doing?
元気そうなのか?
Does it look like she's okay?
さあ、わかりません。
Well, I don't know about that.
ですが、心配ご無用。
But there's no need to worry.
南條先生がつきっきりで見ておりますし、熊沢もシャノンも一緒です。
Dr. Nanjo is giving his full attention of taking care of her, and Kumasawa and Shannon are with him.
どうぞ、ご安心ください。
Please, have no fears.
まずは紅茶でおくつろぎになってはいかがですか?
Why not relax with some black tea for now?
さあ、カノンさん。
Come, Cannon-san.
早く配って配って。
Quickly, serve it.
たく。僕は。
Grumble. Cannon knew this tea was just Goda's way of earning points, so he lined the cups up with a slightly stolen air. With enthusiasm. I'll help too.
大丈夫です。
It's okay. Get the fuck away from me.
マリア様はそのままでお待ちを。
You can just wait there, Maria-sama.
マリアも配膳やる。
I want to serve tea too.
南條先生にはお会いしてないの？
Didn't you talk with Dr. Nanjo?
何か言ってなかった？
Did he say anything?
ええ、先ほどお会いしましたところ、それほどの外傷はないそうで。
Yes. When I met him a short while ago, he said that there weren't any serious external wounds.
私もちらりとお見かけしたところでは。
From what I could tell at a glance. And, just as Goda had successfully captured the gazes of all present, was about to start talking knowledgeably on the subject, Nanjo returned. Of course, Nanjo instantly became the center of attention. Ganon turned his back on Goda, who seemed downhearted.
南條先生。
Dr. Nanjo!
どうなんですか、容体は。
How is her condition?
大丈夫そうなの？
Does it look like she'll be okay?
皆さん、ご安心を。
Not to worry, everyone.
大丈夫です。
She is fine.
怪我は何もありませんでした。
She had no injuries at all.
だいぶ疲労しているようですが、今夜特に熱を出さなければ何事もないでしょう。
She seems to be quite worn out, but there shouldn't be anything to worry about tonight, as long as she doesn't develop a fever.
ならよかったわ。
That's good to hear.
お医者様はいても病院はないものね。
We're lucky enough to have a doctor, but this is no hospital. Everyone was relieved to hear that the girl was in good health. Nanjo gave the more detailed results of his examination, concluding by saying that she was young and should therefore be fine. Everyone who no longer fell under this description nodded in assent.
やっぱり船は怖い。
Boats really are scary.
落ちる、落ちる。
Fall.
バトラの言う通りだった。
Battler was right.
マリアちゃん、それバトラ君には内緒ね。
Maria-chan, let's not tell Battler-kun about this.
ああ、奥様、旦那様。
Oh, madam, Kraus-sama. Goda, who had lost his nerve and was handing out cups, called out in an excessively loud voice. Apparently, he was that desperate to get everyone's attention.
客人の具合はどうだね?
How was the guest?
はい。
Yes, sir.
別状はないとのことでございます。
Her condition is not serious.
そうですか。それはよかった。
I see. That's great.
今はどちらに？
Where is she now?
熊沢さんとシャノンさんがお風呂に案内したはずだ。
I believe Kumasawa-san and Shan-san were guiding her to the bath.
それから服を見立てると言ってましたな。
They said they would get her some clothes afterwards.
ならすぐに来るだろう。
In that case, they'll probably arrive here soon.
諸君。
Everyone?
親族会議の日ではあるが、不幸な事故で訪れることとなった来客だ。
This may be the day of the family conference, but we have a guest brought here by an unfortunate accident.
招いた客人ではないが、どうか歓迎してやってほしい。
She wasn't invited, but I want you all to welcome her. Honestly, they're probably excited. They're like, great. Something that'll probably distract people away from the family conference and Kinzo status. Great. This is great for us. Couldn't be any better. Tragedy? Great. Love it.
意義などあるわけもない。
Who could disagree with that?
賛成や。
I'm all for it.
同じくだ。
Same here.
女の子には優しくしろっておふくろも言ってたぜ。
Didn't Mom always tell us to be nice to girls?
あなたはそれを人生
Why does he
の
have to be
モットーに
weird
し
about
すぎよ。
it? Maybe, but you didn't need to make that your life's motto.
ジョージたちも呼んだ方がいいわね。
It's probably best if we call George and the rest over here too.
全員で挨拶しましょう。
Let's all greet her together. Let's overwhelm her. But
かえって恐縮させちゃうんじゃない？
exactly. Wouldn't that just make her more uncomfortable? Eva stood up and made a phone call to the guest house. At that moment, they heard the sound of a knock, followed by Genji's voice.
源氏でございます。
It is Genji.
お客様がお越しになられました。
The guest has arrived. At those words, everyone fell silent, and the people who had been sitting stood up straight. Genji came in first, opening the door slowly. Then moved. They're really treating this like, oh, it's such a big thing. Look at a new character. Ooh, shiny, new character. Everyone. Then moved off to the side, bowing deeply and urging the guests forwards. Oh, what an intro theme. The guest had Shannon and Kumasawa following by her side. And yet, after seeing the large number of relatives waiting for her in the parlor, she didn't seem overawed in the slightest. Just this single point showed that this girl possessed a dignity appropriate for a guest invited in by the Ishinomiya family. Furudo-sama, allow me to introduce you. This is the representative of the Ishinomiya family head, Ishinomiya Kraus. Welcome to Rokkenjima. Oh, this music. Look at this. Though you arrived due to an accident, you are a guest of the family. We welcome you. Please, make yourself at home and relax however you please. Thank you very much. Allow me to introduce myself. Let me turn the music up. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Let's just jam for a little bit. I needed to get back to the part again. It looped there. I'm gonna put it, I'll put it here now. I'll save that just slightly louder as a resting place. Thank you very much. Allow me to introduce myself. I am called Furudo Erica. Furudo Erica. Erica? Do I get to just call her Erica? Look at that. Beatrice who? This is my friendship with Beatrice has ended. I am now new friends with Erica. Fell from the pleasure boat Eternal Maid II, mid-cruise in the waters near Rokkenjima. On October 4th, 1986, she drifted to Rokkenjima, and the Ishinomiya family welcomed her as a guest. She managed to drift in the island unharmed thanks to several miracles, including the fact that she was wearing a life jacket. I assume it's maybe like the clothing kind of thing, but the proportions seem on this on her seem she's got long legs, it feels like. But I also I'm not a person of. She looks like she's supposed to be older than Maria, right? So like she's probably somewhere in between like Maria and like a Jessica, just like age-wise. But I think I'm thrown off by like the poofiness of the clothing. I'm thrown off by the poofy clothing. I think. Also, I'm just looking. Wait, she's on page 2 as well? I didn't even catch that. I was looking at something else. Burn Castell's double and servant. Also a piece. Oh, it's her double! Okay, so I'm over here. I'm like, okay, what if this is like some weird, funky, because they set up the game. I was like, what if, I was like, oh, what if Lambda Delta and Bernie like did like a fusion dance, and then they created their OC, and then they just stuck their OC character in for like into game 5 here. But it doesn't seem that far off. So it's a double. What Okay, so Burn Castell's double and servant, also a piece who has manifested in the human world. Because she is human, she cannot use magic and the like. However, she can appeal to Burn Castell on a higher level plane to obtain miracles and various authorities she can use. So it would probably be no exaggeration to call her a human capable of wielding the power of a witch. Through Burn Castell, she has been given the detective's authority while on the game board. Okay. Oh, the shit. There's a set. Oh my god. She's so powerful. She has a whole nother page. Therefore, even though she's an outsider of the Ishimiya family, she possesses the right to demand full attention from everyone when speaking, the right to advance proceedings, and right to investigate the crime scene before the police arrive, and many other special abilities. She gets pleasure from the process of solving riddles, but her greatest joy comes from using the victory to sneer at others. Okay, so we're getting a bit of a glimpse. So as the teaser to this episode, we saw her stand up and accusing, I think Natsui was the person, in almost like a detective-like way, right? So now we're getting the, the explanation that she has like full detective powers here. Otherworldly detective powers. Basically granted to her by Bernie, it seems. Great. Interesting. Alright. Furuto, Erika.
この度は後ろ宮家の皆様をお騒がせしてしまい誠に申し訳ございません。
Also, I love her headpiece. I gotta say. You just grab some flowers, stick it on someone's head. I'm a fan. my deepest apologies for disturbing you members of the Ishimiya family like this.
招かれざる客人であるにもかかわらずの歓迎。心より感謝いたします。
I'm truly grateful for the warm welcome I've received despite my status as an uninvited guest. This was greeted by an impressed sigh arising equally from all corners of the room. Oh, they're enamored. Everyone is in love with the new character. Somewhere it's mentioned that Byrne's first name is Federica. Federica. Oh, so basically that's okay. So it's all just, it's plays on names upon plays on names. The clothes she had been lent were probably Jessica's formal wear from long ago. But the composure of her introduction didn't shame those clothes in the slightest. The girl's name was Furuto Erika. Furuto? I'm probably saying it, whatever. She looked slightly younger than Battler and Jessica, but her composure and mannerisms were beyond what anyone would have expected from a high schooler, almost as though she was a well-to-do family's daughter. Wait a sec. Who the heck is this?
無能のあんたが主役駒じゃゲームがさっぱり進まないもの。
With an incompetent like you as the main character piece, the game wouldn't go anywhere.
だから私自身を駒として出させてもらった。
That's why I've placed myself there as a piece.
まあ、ちょっとしたエキストラね。
Well, it's just a bit of a bonus.
いくらクローズドサークルだからっていつも同じ面々ばかりじゃ飽きるでしょ
Even in a closed circle, it'd get boring to see the same crew every single time, right? Quit messing around. This piece doesn't exist on Beato's game board. Beato and I won't acknowledge it.
ベアトのゲーム版でしょ
This is Beato's game board, right?
ベアトが拒否するってんなら考えてあげるわ
If Beato refuses, then I'll consider it.
ベアトの意見は
What do you say, Beato? That's fucking cruel. In her comatose state. Hey, Beato, do you have any objections to this? And then she's just like staring into nothingness. It's like, great. I hear no complaints. let it stand. Beato was unable to answer. That's so cruel. Lambda Delta grinned triumphantly.
ルールにイチャモンつけてゲームを降りてみる
Want to try complaining about the rules and stepping down from the game?
あんたら推理者の得意技じゃない
Isn't that a favorite move of you mystery people?
自分の意に沿わない要素が一粒でもあったらそれを理由に感触を起こして思考停止を起こすのは
If there's even a tiny element that goes against your expectations, you throw a tantrum and totally stop thinking.
安心なさい。
Don't worry.
このコマについては探偵宣言を出すわ。
I'll make a detective proclamation regarding this piece.
探偵宣言
A detective proclamation?
フルドエリカは探偵であることを宣言するわ。
I proclaim that Furuto Erika is the detective.
探偵は犯人ではなく、
The detective isn't a culprit.
その証明にはいかなる証拠も必要としない。
No proof is needed to show this.
早い話が、この子を一切疑う必要はないということよ。
In short, there's absolutely no need to suspect this girl.
これなら人間の駒として登場してもいつもと変わらずに推理できるでしょ。
Even if she appears as a human piece from now on, you can build theories the same as you always did. Get it?
ノックス第7条ね。
That's Nox's 7th, right?
探偵が犯人であることを禁ず。
It is forbidden for the detective It is forbidden for the detective to be the culprit?
原文には例外条項もあるんだけど、今回は
There was an exception clause in the original, but for this game,
探偵は犯人でないと赤で宣言してるから、例外は考えなくていいわ。
the detective isn't a culprit has been reclaimed in red, so you don't need to consider the exception.
言葉遊びは嫌いだから、私も赤で言ってあげる。
I hate word games, so I'll say this in red too.
フルドエリカは犯人ではない。
Furuto Erika is not the culprit.
副賞要求
Repeat it.
フルドエリカはこれまでのベアとのゲームに影響を与えない。
Furuto Erika had no influence on any of Beato's games before now.
いいわ、応じる。
Sure, no prob.
フルドエリカはこれまでのベアとのゲームに影響を与えない。
Furuto Erika had no influence on any of Beato's games before now.
あくまでも今回初登場のエキストラよ。
She's nothing more than an extra character who appears for the first time this round.
これまでの世界には存在しないし、影響も与えないわ。
She does not exist in the worlds before this one, nor does she influence them.
なら今の時点での在当者の人数はどうなるんだ。
So, what does that do to the number of people on this island right now?
もちろん、これまでの人数にプラス1してもらうわ。
Of course, it's +1 from the previous number.
でも安心して。
But don't worry,
フルドエリカが1人増えただけ。
Furuto Erika only increases it by one person.
それ以外の在当者の人数はこれまでのゲームと全く同じ。
Besides her, number of people on this island is exactly the same as it was in the previous games. At that time, the sound of people dashing down a corridor could be heard. It was Battler, George, and Jessica who had come from the guest house after being called here by Eva. They immediately spotted a guest they didn't recognize, and their eyes went wide.
どちら様
Who are you?
お客様。
A guest.
落ちるで来たの。
She came by falling. Huh?
落ちる
Fall?
源氏さん、
Genji-san.
こちらの方は
Who is this person?
お客様のフルドエリカ様でございます。
This is a guest. Furuta Erika-sama.
フルド様。
Furuta-sama?
こちらは当家令嬢のジェシカ様。並びにいとこのジョージ様。バトラ様でございます。
This is the daughter of the family, Jessica-sama, along with their cousins, George-sama and Battler-sama.
よろしく。
Nice to meet you.
後宮ジェシカです。
I'm Nishiromiya Jessica.
はじめまして。
Hello.
フルドエリカです。
My name is Furuto Erika.
よろしくお願いいたします。
I'm very pleased to meet you. Though Battler, George, and Jessica didn't have a clue what was going on and were utterly bewildered, they each introduced themselves.
好都合じゃない。
Isn't that convenient?
これで人数がはっきりするわ。
This way, number of people is clear.
ゲストハウスのバトラたちが合流し、今客間には金蔵以外のすべての駒が人間が揃った。
The people in the guest house have joined up with the rest, and now, all the pieces except for Kinzo, all the humans have gathered in the parlor.
そうなるわね。
Looks like it.
つまり今この客間にいる人数が 在当者すべての人数ってことになるわね。
In other words, the number of people in this parlor now is equal to the total number of people on this island.
18人いるはずの島が、じいさまが実は死んでて、17人になった。
There were supposedly 18 people on the island, but since grandfather's actually dead, it became 17.
そこにベルンカステルの駒が1人追加され。
And now one piece of Bern Castells has been added. The number of humans on this island has returned to 18. I glanced around at the humans in the parlor. The guest, Furuto Erika, and behind her, Kumasawa-san and Shannon-chan. Off to the side was Genji-san. Uncle Kraus and Aunt Natsui were welcoming the guest. Goto-san immediately started showing off, and Ken-kun was being unsociable, wearing his usual blank expression. There was Dad and Kairi-san, and Aunt Eva and Uncle Hideyoshi, Aunt Rosa and Maria, and Dr. Nanjo. Man, Dr. Nanjo gets like billing that, like, you know, like old sitcoms where like they would introduce like the you know, theme songs playing and it introduces the actors, and it's like it's this person as this person, and then like the final person's always like the family dog, and it's like, and Lucky the dog as Lucky. Like that's just what Dr. Nanjo got. And Dr. Nanjo is also there. Oh, there's more. But anyway, then on either side of me, what will the Nanjo fans say? What, all 3.5 of them? Are they gonna get mad at me? Then on either side of me were George and Iki and Jessica. This is everyone. The true number of people on the island at the moment.
何しろ、僕たちは全員後ろ宮だからね。
Well, all of us are Ishiromiyas.
気兼ねなく下の名前で呼んでほしいね。
Please don't feel obligated to call us by our family name.
僕はジョージ。
I'm George.
俺はバトラだ。
And I'm Battler.
よろしくな。
Nice to meet you.
ありがとうございます。ジョージさん、バトラさん。
Thank you very much, George-san, Battler-san.
私のこともエリカと呼んでもらえると嬉しいです。
I'd be pleased if you would call me Erika. Oh, thank God. Thank God I don't have to keep saying Furuto. Will Battler hit on her? I hope not. But that's a big hope. He's gonna... I mean, if I had to place my life savings on something, I would say he's gonna make at least one weird comment, right? Sometime it's gonna happen. Nice to meet you, Erika-san. It was decided that Erika would be welcomed like a guest and allowed to borrow the bedroom next to the cousin room on the second floor of the guest house. In front of all her relatives, she had seemed dignified and a bit stiff. However, as she talked with George and Jessica, her expression began to soften gradually. And so, the detective Furuto Erika was placed on the game board. It's as if they were playing chess and then just a checkers piece got placed on or something. A go piece.
ジェシカの昔の服、あんなに似合うなんて思いませんでした。
I'm surprised Jessica's old clothes suit her so well.
熊沢が勝手にお嬢様の昔の服を使用してしまいました。
Kumasawa made the decision on her own to use Milady's old clothes.
お許しください。
Please forgive her. The clothes Erika wore were Jessica's old formal attire. Though the guest possessed a dignity that would put most adults to shame, her body was still physically similar to a middle schooler's. Though the guest possessed a dignity that would put most... Okay. Yes, okay. I understand now. Jessica's old clothes fit her perfectly.
いいえ。
Not to worry.
お客様にふさわしい身なりでしたよ。
They match this guest perfectly.
もし彼女が気に入るようでしたら、お近づきの印にプレゼントしても良いでしょう。
If she likes them, we might even let her keep them as a sign of friendship. Imagine Jessica wearing those clothes. Yeah, I'm sure, knowing all we know about Jessica and her personality, I'm sure whenever she was stuffed into those clothes, I'm sure she was a big fan of that.
かしこまりました。
Certainly.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
警察やご家族には連絡しましたか？
Have you contacted the police and her family?
はい、
Yes.
先方も大層ご心配なされていたようでした。
They seem to have been quite distressed.
ところで
By the way,
客人は本当に事故でしょうね。
our guest really was involved in an accident, right?
ご本人は寄港中のボートから転落したとおっしゃっております。
She herself said she was from a boat as it was returned to port.
裏付けはありますか？
Is there anything to back up that claim?
海保に問い合わせて確認しました。
I checked with the Coast Guard.
プレジャーボートの後部から転落したそうで、他の乗員たちは気づかなかったようです。
It seems she fell from the rear of a pleasure boat, unnoticed by the others on board. Damn. Imagine you're on a boat with people, and then you fall off the back, and they don't notice. Bruh.
実際の転落地点はわかりませんが、おそらくはここの近海でしょう。
We don't know the exact location she fell from, but it was probably somewhere near this island.
この悪天候に船遊びなど愚かなことです。
It was foolish to plan a boat with such a bad weather forecast.
しかし、近海で溺れてこの島に漂着することは考えられるのですか？
However, is it really conceivable that she nearly drowned in the nearby waters and drifted to this island?
ありえないことではありません。
It is not impossible.
この辺りの島には大抵漂流民が流れ着いた伝承がございます。
Tales of drifters washing ashore exist in several of the islands around this area.
おそらく事故は真実ではないかと。
I believe it likely that an accident occurred.
この台風です。
We're in the middle of a typhoon.
島のどこであろうとも、船での接岸は不可能です。
It would not be possible to land a boat anywhere on this island. Genji had already considered what she now suspected. So he probably suspected that this mysterious guest, who had arrived during the already high-stress family conference, might be the agent of some conspiracy. So, Genji had already checked to make sure that the accident was real, that Furuto Erika was a real name, and that there was nothing suspicious going on.
わかりました。
I understand.
主人も丁重にもてなすようにと指示しています。
My husband has ordered that she be politely entertained.
粗相のないようになさい。
Make sure that there are no blunders.
ですが、わかっていますね。
However, you do understand, don't you?
はい。
Yes.
親族会議には一切近づけません。
I won't let her anywhere near the family conference. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's gonna stop her.
夕食後はゲストハウスへお引き取り願います。
After dinner, I will see that she retires to the guest house. I mean, it's funny because we already know. We're already privy to some information. We got a quick peek into just that scene of Natsuhi getting accused by her. So we already know. We already know this is not going to end up like Natsuhi wants it to be.
客人をお父様に挨拶させろというような流れにもならないようよく注意するのですよ。
Make sure they don't start trying to force us to let her meet father or anything like that.
もちろんです。
Of course.
心得ております。
I will keep that in mind.
ほう。
Huh.
フルドエリカとな。
Furuto Erika, was it?
この六軒島に来客とは珍しい。
It's rare for guests to come here to Rokenjima.
楽しませてくれそうではないか。
Doesn't this look like it'll be interesting?
ベルンカステル教の駒でしょう。
She's probably Lady Berncastell's piece.
人間のルールに従うとはいえ、プレイヤーは魔女です。
Though she will follow the rules of humans, the player is a witch.
侮ることはできませんよ。
We mustn't underestimate her.
問題ない。
There's no problem.
仮にベルンカステル教本人であろうとも、人間である以上、わらわたちの敵ではない。
Even if she were Lady Berncastell herself, since she's a human, she's no match for us.
何しろガープもいる。
After all, we have Gap with us.
人間はガープに
The
絶
all-powerful
対に
Gap.
勝てぬ。
Humans certainly cannot win against Gap.
ありがとう。
Thanks.
でも買いかぶりすぎは良くないわ。
Still, it's not a good idea to overestimate yourself.
魔女の定義は魔法が使えることだけを意味したりはしない。
The definition of a witch doesn't only imply the ability to use magic.
ですが
True.
ジョーカーであり台風の目であ
A joker in the eye of a typhoon.
るそれが魔女というもの
That is what a witch is.
この六軒島で魔女と名乗ってよいのはこのわらわ。
I'm the only one who gets to call herself a witch on this Rokenjima.
黄金の魔女にして無限の魔女ベアトリーチェのみである。
Only I, the golden witch and endless witch, Beatrice.
ベルンカステル教名。エンジェの次なるコマがどの程度のものか。
Let's see how good Lady Bernkastel's next piece after Angie is.
じっくりと観覧させてもらおうぞ。
I intend to watch very closely. Smash. Erica's seat was the lowest one in rank. Send her to the back of the table. In other words, it was the inferior end of the table. Since Kinzo's seat at the high end of the table was empty, if you spun the whole thing around, it sort of looked like Erica was the host of this dinner.
それでは皆様
Well done, everyone.
本日の晩餐を始めさせていただきたいと思います
I would like to begin tonight's dinner, if I may. After Goda's announcement, dinner began with the applause that had become almost customary. It was finally the beginning of the dinner orchestra conducted by Toshiro Goda. Except for Krause's household, sitting at such a majestic dinner table was no everyday thing for these people by any means. However, they're all used to this event and act as though it was completely normal. Once again, if everyone was to be surprised, it should have been Erica. And yet, she showed no signs of amazement at this dinner and acted with composure, blending in with everyone else. There wasn't even a sliver of the fear one might expect from someone who had wandered here like a lost puppy.
不思議な子ですね。
What an odd child.
後宮家の1年間で最も豪華な晩餐を前に何も取り乱さないとは。
She doesn't seem the least bit flustered by the Ishimiya family's grandest dinner of the year.
最近の子は肝が据わってるわ。
Kids these days have nerves of steel.
嫌いじゃないわ。そういうの。
Definitely not something I dislike.
フルドさんはこういう食事には慣れているのですか?
Is Furudo-san used to meals such as this one?
大した落ち着きようだ.
She seems to be quite composed.
ほんまやな。
No kidding.
ずいぶん手慣れたもんや。
She looks really experienced.
わしなんか未だに次はどのフォークを使えばいいんか混乱するんやで。
Heck, I still get confused about which fork I'm supposed to use next.
ああ、こっちやったか。それともこっちやったか。
Was it this one or this one? If you understand the seating, she's next to Nanjo and Kairi, and somewhat close to Natsu and Hideyoshi. I need like a diagram of the table. Without showing any confusion over the line of utensils in front of her, Erica gracefully ate her hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres. Hideyoshi had started joking around with her, gripping a fork in each hand. Of course, the president of a company in the food service industry like Hideyoshi obviously knew his table manners. However, thinking that Erica must be nervous over this dinner, he had intentionally spoken with a comic tone of voice.
外側から順に使うだけですし、
You just have to start on the outside and work your way in.
面倒だったらお箸を頼めばいいんです。
If that's a pain, then just ask for some chopsticks.
日本人ならお箸です。
If you're Japanese, you've gotta love chopsticks.
お箸はいいですよ。
Chopsticks are so great.
これ一膳あればどんな料理でも対処できます。
Just one pair of those, and you can deal with any kind of food. As soon as she began talking about chopsticks, her eyes started glittering. The smile she now showed for the first time was far different from the dignity she displayed before. More like something you'd expect from someone her age.
カレーライスはさすがにスプーンでしょ。
But even you would use a spoon for curry and rice, wouldn't you?
丼に盛ればいいんです。
Just make it a Dunbury bowl. Dunbury.
牛丼をスプーンで食べる人いますか？
Is there anyone who eats beef bowls with a spoon?
いませんよね。
Of course not.
日本人なら断じて絶対鉄頭鉄尾お箸です。
For the Japanese, it's absolutely, positively, totally chopsticks.
というわけでゴーダさん。
So, Goda-san,
すみませんがお箸をお願いします。
would you mind bringing me some chopsticks?
私が日本人として恥ずかしくない食べ方をご覧に入れてみせましょう。
I want to show everyone how a true Japanese person should eat without any shame. I had to get a close look. She's got certified cat mouth with certified little kitty teeth. This is why everyone loves her, isn't it?
ところで次のお料理は何ですか？
By the way, what are we eating next?
それが困ったことに、次はスープでございまして。
Unfortunately, that would be soup. She imitated a shrugging gesture. Erica winked at everyone. Oh, this is good. This is a good sprite. The shrug. As she imitated a shrugging gesture, Erica winked at everyone. Are they not all Japanese at this table? I think, well, okay, so obviously I don't know culture things, but I think they're all Japanese, but I thought the whole thing was that like the mansion and like how they were raised by Kinzo was that they were all really into Western culture, right? So I would have assumed that just extended to the utensils they used and how they kind of like ate and prepped meals and stuff. That was my guess. And so they were like, so they're just like, oh, we're so used to having a million forks and spoons and knives and shit. And then she's not part of this family, so she comes in and she's like, well, fuck you guys. This is how real Japanese people eat. Chopsticks, guys. Come on. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah. I think it sort of. I think it kind of is sort of like a slightly veiled dig. Where she comes into this and she's like, what the hell is happening here? Huh? As she imitated Shrek. Okay. I think I read that line like 5 times. Wah! Oh, it's so funny. Of course, no one was laughing at her. She obviously knew that soup came after hors d'oeuvres in a full-course meal. Furthermore, Erica had noticed both that she'd been performing too perfectly and creating a sense of tension, and that Hideyoshi had tried to break the ice because he thought she was nervous. That's why she started acting a little childish and lighthearted, acting out a part of a guest enjoying a harmonious dinner. It's more like a joke than a dig. Yeah, maybe a dig wasn't the right word, but you get what I'm saying. It was just whatever. Pretty soon, not only Kairi, but everyone else caught on. Though she was an uninvited guest, she was apparently worthy of participating in an Ishimiya family dinner. Smart kid. Also, I was gonna make some kind of joke, like, everyone's in love with the new, shiny new kid, right, that shows up to this. I expect... How much you want to bet, like, Rosa's looking at this kid, being like, why couldn't that be my kid? Why am I stuck with fucking Maria? I want this kid. Can I trade? Let's trade. Let's leave Maria behind and just take home... I'm gonna take home Erica. Smart kid. Did she really just come here by coincidence? Don't tell me you secretly called your illegitimate child to today's family conference, Nissan. It seems she even has the smarts to brighten the mood. And her manners are simply wonderful. It wouldn't be bad at all to have this girl as a daughter. That's pretty cruel. Where does that leave Jessica-chan? Man, I was making a joke about it, but it truly is. Everyone is like, hey, this new kid is actually the best. That's mean, Rudolph Nissan.
どうしたんだい、ジェシカちゃん。
What's wrong, Jessica-chan?
頭痛かい？
Headache?
私の評価がずんずん下がってる気がするぜ。
I get the feeling my reputation's taking a dive.
こりゃ本家の令嬢として負けられねえだろ。
Well, if you're a daughter of the head family, you better not let her beat you.
お前も日頃夏日おばさんに仕込まれてるテーブルマナーと貫禄で対抗してみろよ。
Try using those table manners and dignity Aunt Natsui's always training you with. Fight back.
見たい見たい。
I wanna see.
テーブルマナー見たい。
I wanna see table manners.
ほら、はしゃぐのはマナー違反だよ。
Hey, jumping around is bad manners.
さあさ、ジェシカちゃん。
Come on, Jessica-chan.
お手本を見せてあげて。
Show us how it's done.
もちろんだぜ。
Sure, of course. Jessica straightened up so much it looked like someone had poked her back with a pole. She had good posture, but it somehow lacked elegance. She looked, well, kind of like a triangle ruler. She sat at attention with her gaze fixed straight ahead, tried to bring her food to her mouth despite this, and failed miserably. Dad, who was sitting next to her, suddenly realized that something was up. Hmm?
どうしたんだ、ジェシカちゃん。
What's wrong, Jessica-chan?
腹でも痛えのか？
Stomachache? Jessica turned bright red. Sorry, I can't help myself. We laughed our heads off. Jessica protested, still bright red. Aunt Natsui scolded us for being too improper. Well, no matter how much we try to smooth it over, we are who we are. We couldn't pretend any longer. Still, a laugh really did help us to relax. We were so concerned about the guests getting nervous, we'd gotten even more nervous ourselves. Our chatter from the center of this long table spread to both ends. And ultimately, the dinner went even more smoothly than usual. Excellent. With some delicious cheese and coffee, our peaceful meal came to an end. Cheese and coffee. Cheese and coffee. I mean, I'm a big fan of coffee and cheese, but I don't... it seems weird. I don't know if they're necessarily saying that it's like a pairing. Goto won unanimous acclaim and was praised by for his skill by all present. After a short period of harmony following the meal, it was decided that we would return to the guest house. Normally, dinner tended to have a very dark atmosphere about it, and the adults would often keep that mood as they moved straight on to the family conference. However, perhaps because this year's dinner had been oddly peaceful, everyone decided to take a break, the adults included. After eating, taking a bath, and relaxing after watching TV, I wonder if they'll gather again in the mansion with all this rain and resume that high-tension family conference of theirs. I'd rather not think about it. Apparently, Aunt Eva was getting really worked up, trying to convince the rest to start the family conference right away, but it didn't look like many people agreed with her. That would probably call it quits for the night. She's the Mary Sue OC, bringing everyone joy. I know! She's like, oh, it's so harmonious. We just introduced some new outsider, and we can't, like, embarrass ourselves in front of her, so let's put on a good face. Although, like I was saying earlier, it seems like this is going to be short-lived, right? Once the inciting incident happens and murder happens, basically, it seems as though she's going to come out guns a-blazing. Where did I stop? But it didn't look like many people agreed with her. They might probably call it quits for the night. Since they had guest house duty, Goto-san and Kumasawa-san were chosen to guide us to the guest house. It's gotta be tough for Goto-san. Even after making and cleaning up such an extravagant dinner, he also had the late night shift at the guest house. I heard that Kumasawa-san, old as she was, would be going to sleep soon. It seems she was assigned a spare room.
皆様をゲストハウスまでご案内させていただきます。
Allow me to guide everyone to the guest house.
エリカ様のお部屋もご用意できております。
Erika-sama, a room has also been prepared for you.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
体調はどうです？
Why not rest a bit?
具合が悪かったりはしませんか？
Are you sure you feel okay?
ああ、そうだよな。
That's right.
すっかり忘れてたけど、エリカちゃんは溺れてて流れ着いたんだよな。
I'd totally forgotten, but you nearly drowned and floated here, didn't you, Erica-chan?
今日は無理しねえで、早く寝た方がいいだろうな。
You'd probably be better off taking it easy and getting to bed early tonight.
全然平気です。
I'm perfectly fine.
それよりも緊張と興奮でむしろ寝つけないくらいです。
On the contrary, I'm so nervous and excited that I doubt I could get any sleep. Oh.
じゃあ遊ぼう。みんなで遊ぼう。
Then let's play. Let's all play together.
トランプしよう。
Let's play cards. Maria latched onto her, giggling. This lack of restraint peculiar to youth was very much like Maria. However, we really should be concerned for Erica's physical condition now.
マリア、トランプは私たちと一緒に遊ぼう。
Maria, why don't you play cards with us?
エリカお姉ちゃんは疲れてるんだってさ。
Erica Oni-chan is tired.
トランプも好きですよ。
I like cards too.
一息つきましたら、ぜひご一緒させてください。
Please let me join you after I've had a short break.
やったー。
Alright.
あれは
Who
ど
is
ちら様ですか？
who is that? As she passed through the lobby to the entrance hall, Erica stopped walking. When we saw what she was looking at, the rest of us also stopped.
ああ、あちらは黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ様でございますよ。
Oh, that is the Golden Witch, Beatrice-sama.
黄金の
The Golden
魔女。
Witch?
何やってんだガキども。
What are you doing, brats?
さっさとゲストハウスへ引き上げるぞ。
What are you doing, turds? Go on and head back to the guest house. Dad, Kairi-san, Aunt Eva, Uncle Hideyoshi, and Aunt Rosa all came over. The entire guest house party had gathered. However, Erica's gaze was captured by the portrait of the witch. She simply stared at it for a while. Yeah.
親父は200億相当の黄金を隠し持っていて、
Supposedly, Dad has a stash of hidden gold worth 20 billion yen.
その隠し場所をあの碑文に記したって言われてる。
And this epitaph shows you where that gold's hidden. Perhaps it was too late for them to all disperse into their individual rooms, because the relatives who had returned to the guest house all gathered on the first floor, continuing their chat. The topic was the witch's epitaph, which Erica had taken an interest in.
魅力的な謎ですね。
It really is a fascinating riddle.
誰にでも見られるところに堂々と張り出し、私たちの知恵に挑戦する。
He stuck it out in a place where anyone could see it, challenging our intelligence. Oh damn, Erica's gonna come in here first year and just fucking solve this riddle, isn't she? She's gonna solve it within 10 seconds and be like, how'd you guys not solve this year after year? You fucking idiots. You guys, and I'm a child. And I'm not even part of the family.
大好きです。
Man, you guys suck. I love that kind of challenge.
ひゅー。
Whoa.
エリカちゃんは案外ノリがいいな。
You seem surprisingly interested, Erica-chan.
謎解きとか好きなのか？
Do you like solving riddles or something?
面白そうじゃないですか。
Don't challenges like this seem interesting?
そういう挑戦。
It seems pretty clear.
多分金蔵さんはあの碑文によって跡継ぎを選ぼうというつもりに違いありませんね。
That Kinzo-san wants to use that epitaph to choose a successor. When she said that, the adults stopped moving and slowly turned to face Erica. They're like,
そう思うの?
Why do you think that? Aunt Eva spoke with a coaxing voice. Coaxing. Though, every now and then, there had been whispering among the relatives that whoever solved the epitaph's riddle might be given the family inheritance. This had been no more than wishful thinking, since such a thing had never been specifically stated. And yet, though she had only read it once, the outsider had already reached that conclusion. How had she come to it? No, that's not the problem. If you solve the epitaph, you can become the next head. She wasn't trying to make it sound like wishful thinking, but an outright fact. So they closed in around Erica asking why she was so sure.
大富豪が謎を解いた者に富を譲るというのは割とよくあるシチュエーションです。
It's fairly common for an extremely rich person to relinquish his or her wealth to the solver of some sort of riddle.
そしてご当主の金蔵さんはその碑文を新聞に載せたのではなく
Furthermore, Kinzo-san didn't publish this epitaph in a newspaper,
お屋敷の中に掲示しました。
but displayed it in his mansion. Oh my god, this is going full on like... We're going full Knives Out murder mystery situation. She is Benoit Blanc. She's like, I do declare, I know everything. Fuck you guys.
つまりこの
But
お屋
displayed in
敷
his
の
mansion. I don't know
人
if I
間
read
を
that
対象
part.
にした謎だということです。
That means the riddle is directed at the people in this mansion.
そうだよな。
You're right. I'll always remember Knives Out because, Knives Out, I don't know, I think I was feeling kind of pathetic for myself or something, and I remember Knives Out was in theaters, and, I was like, I really wanted to watch it, so I just took myself to the movies or something, and I went to go see it. I went to go see a movie by myself, because I kept telling myself, I was like, I should just take myself to the movies and, like, just go to the movie theater by myself. And it was the Christmas season right before, I think, like COVID stuff started happening. Because I remember in the the timeline of events, I just remember that being like, I remember doing it like right towards the end of that year. It must have been 2019, and then everything happened. No, that was such a good movie. I agree. I really liked the original one. I think the second one, I think, was still good. Obviously very different. It's not very different, obviously, but felt different. But also reminded me of, like, I remember coming out and being like, that was a really good movie. Also, I hate the movie experience. I hate the movie theater experience. I don't even hate the movie theater experience. I hate people in the theater experience. It was only... Oh, yeah. That makes sense. Unfortunate. Unfortunate US bias. Battler says, you're right.
この屋敷の中である以上、この屋敷に出入りできない者には解きようがない。
Since it's inside the mansion, there's no way for someone who can't enter the mansion to solve it.
つまり、この屋敷の人間にじい様は挑戦してきたってわけだ。
So, that means grandfather's been challenging the people here.
グッド。
Good.
良い思考です。
Well thought.
あの碑文が屋敷内にあったという一時からでも、その程度のことを読み取ることが可能です。
Just by the simple fact that the epitaph's inside the mansion, it's possible to figure out that much. At first, this Furuta Erica girl seemed to be the fairly silent type, but that apparently wasn't the case. As she grew excited by a challenge to a game of wits, she became much more talkative than I'd imagined. God, she is a lot, I mean, personality-wise, she feels just, I mean, it makes sense, right? She's the insert character of Bernie. She's like Bernie with a personality. And actually talkative. She became... Okay.
なるほどな。
I see.
屋敷の中に碑文があるんは、屋敷の人間に読ませるためってのは確かに道理や。
Well, it does make sense that an epitaph inside a mansion would be there so the people in the mansion could read it.
でも、家督を譲る相手までも選ぶというのは言い切れるものなの?
But can you really be so sure that the one who solves it will be given the headship too?
この謎を解いて得られる宝がほんのささやかなものでしかないなら、
If the treasure gained by solving the riddle were something small,
私もそこまでは思いません。
I wouldn't even have considered that.
そうよね。
That's right.
隠された黄金の価値は200億。
The hidden gold is worth 20 billion.
それはまさに後ろ宮家の財産そのものだわ。
You might consider that gold itself to be the wealth of the Ishimiya family.
それを受け継ぐということは、 後ろ宮家を引き継ぐことと限りなく同じ意味です。
Inheriting something like that would almost be the same as inheriting the Ishimiya family itself.
つまり碑文に込めた黄金の隠し場所という謎は後ろ宮家の実質的な後継者選びに他ならないということです。
In other words, this riddle of the gold's hiding place buried within the epitaph is nothing less than a way of selecting the de facto successor of the Ishimiya family. The idea that the one who solved the epitaph would be chosen as a successor had been passed around by some of the relatives for a while now. However, since it had never been specifically announced, it was nothing more than an optimistic dream. Thinking this, they decided to abandon all consideration of this point until the details were made clear. Eric had clearly declared that this uncertain point was, in fact, true. If one of the relatives had said it, people would have thought it to be merely an optimistic dream. You know what, I don't know if this is actually a point worth noting, but I will say that before Erica was like fully introduced here, I had made a comment, just, it was Erica met up with Maria in the Rose Garden. And previously, in the previous games, it was Beatrice who would show up and hand Maria a letter. But it seems, and then that would get the whole ball rolling in the family considering the riddle thing. But instead, we don't have Beatrice handing a letter to Maria, but we have the same action. We have the outsider, Erica here. No letter. She's just a character. Still ran into Maria first, and doesn't have an envelope thing with a letter talking about the epitaph riddle, but instead has just come in and been like, hey, you guys ever consider this fucking riddle thing as to be important? So I just think that that's interesting. An interesting parallel. But I digress. However, when this was declared by a complete outsider, those words seemed even more credible. Everyone remained silent for a while, slowly considering what those words implied.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで
Simply by the existence of the epitaph in that place,
フルドエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。
this level of reasoning is possible for Furuta Erica. Oh. Referencing herself as in the third person? Wonderful.
いかがでしょうか、皆様方。
What do you think, everyone?
横やりで申し訳ねえけどさ。
Sorry to butt in,
一応はうちの父さんが次期当主なわけだぜ。
but my dad's a successor.
隠し黄金を誰が見つける云々はともかくよ。
Finding the gold would be one thing,
見つけたら当主ってのはそういうことにはならねえんじゃねえかよ。
but that doesn't mean you get to be the head, right? Jessica thought the treasure hunting part of the epitaph was really fun. However, she couldn't help but let her expression grow bitter once they started talking about undermining her father's position.
私の推理から演繹する限り、
By using deductive reasoning based upon my theory,
金蔵さんは次期当主のクラウスさんに円滑な当主継承を望んでいないと考えられます。
it seems likely that Kinzo-san doesn't want the successor, Kraus-san, to inherit that position too smoothly.
どうしてだよ。
Why is that?
莫大な財産を持つ後ろ宮家の当主なら政治的な意味で様々な影響力を持つことになるでしょう。
Becoming the head of the Ishimiya family, with all the vast wealth it entails, would mean gaining a great deal of influence in a political sense.
ならば本来その継承は厳格であり、一切の紛れが入るべきではありません。
So, under normal circumstances, the succession should be overseen rigorously, without letting any element of chance creep into the equation.
そうね。
That's right.
うちの人の好きな戦国武将の話でもよくあるわ。
Happens a lot in those stories about Sengoku military commanders that my husband loves.
後継ぎ候補が複数いたりすると、大抵お家騒動の火種になる。
When there are multiple candidates for the successor, usually results in an internal squabble.
そうやな。
That's right.
だからトラブルを未然に防ぐためにしっかりと後継者を指名しておくのが大切なんや。
That's why it's important to clearly specify a successor, so you can avoid any trouble.
時には 競合する後継者を粛清することさえあるんやで。
Sometimes there's even a purge of all the competing successors. The Sengoku commander Hideyoshi admired. Toyotomi Hideyoshi made his son-in-law Hidetsugu commit seppuku. But it was rumored they might have done this to make Hideyori, who was his real son and born after Hitetsugu, his true heir. I can read. In other words, naming his successor was a way to make it generally known that a single, unique person would be acknowledged by everyone. And a way to remove any chance of another person becoming an opposing candidate. Good. Good. I like that. Good. Like where here? Like where? Let me find this. Give me just like 10 seconds. If I go here and I go here, and I just type. Like anytime she says good, this is what I imagine. Good. Like you might as well, you could just put this over. Good. That's exactly right.
あのような碑文の存在はクラウスさんの次期当主の肩書きを危ぶませる意味しかありません。
It's exactly the same. The only purpose for an epitaph like that would be to cast doubt on Kraus-san's position as a successor.
つまり金蔵さんがクラウスさんに当主を円満に継承させたいと願うなら、あのような危険なものをわざわざ人目にさらす理由がないわけです。
In other words, if Kinzo-san wanted Kraus-san to become the head smoothly, he'd have no reason to go out of his way and display something so dangerous for all to see.
そうね。
Let me get that out of here now. Okay, that's right.
チェス盤をひっくり返せば確かにそう言える。
If you spin the chessboard around, you certainly could say that.
当主は継承するけれども、200億の黄金は譲れない。解けた誰かに譲るというのはおかしな話だわ。
It would be odd if he handed over the position of the head normally, but only handed over the 20 billion yen in gold to the person who solves the riddle. Kinzo would pass on the title of family head, but he would only give up his 20 billion yen in gold to the person who solved the epitaph. You really couldn't call this passing on the headship in the truest sense.
そういうことです。
That's how it fits.
以上の推理により、金蔵さんがクラウスさんを本当に後継者だと認めていたか怪しむことができるわけです。
By this theory, we are able to doubt whether Kinzo-san truly acknowledged Kraus-san as his successor.
ただ碑文がそこに存在するだけで。
Simply by the existence of the epitaph in that place.
フルダエリカはこの程度の推理が可能です。
This level of reasoning is possible for Furuto Erika. Wow, Erika has come in here and in a matter of hours is just like, I'm ready to make some enemies. Let's fucking go. I respect it. I respect it. What do you think, Jessica-san? What the hell? How do you call that reasoning? That's bullshit. It's screwed up. Jessica let her emotions lay bare and glared at Erika. Erika, on the other hand, looked exceedingly calm with an expression that said, well, that's just the truth, right? I see. It looks like table manners aren't the only way this girl is fitting for the Ishinomiya family. Seems she really does match the family, even when it'd be better if she didn't. Okay, take it easy, Jessica. And Erika, let's leave it at that for now.
まあその後継者云々の話は置いといてもやな。
Well, we can put all this successor stuff to the side for now.
いずれにせよ、お父さんからのビッグクエスチョンやというのは間違いないやろな。
Big question! I really like that. Anyway, there's no doubt that it's father's big question for us.
200億やで。
It's 20 billion yen!
マリアちゃん、もし見つけたら何に使う？
Ria-chan, what'd you use it for if you found it?
おお、
Uh.
黄金鏡は黄金だけじゃない。
A golden land isn't just gold.
もっと神聖な場所なの。
It's a sacred place. Uncle Hideyoshi kept trying to force himself to chuckle and improve the mood. Everyone else tried to play along, but Jessica's mood didn't get any better. So, Erika-chan, would you like to have a go at the epitaph's riddle?
はい。
Yes.
灰色の脳細胞がうずきまくりです。
My little gray cells are itching to get started. Her gray cell. Alright. Alright, let's, all in favor of casting Erika back into the sea, raise your hand. And then, like, everyone raises their hand. Alright, grab her, throw her back. It's just like catching a fish. Just throw her back into the water. It's fine.
ですので、謎解きを早速始めたいと思います。
I'd like to start solving as soon as possible. George Shiniki smoothly turned. There is no doubt in my brain she is going to solve this fucking riddle. It seems so, like, it's going to happen so quick. George Shiniki smoothly turned the conversation around. Just like the time she made everyone laugh in the dining hall, Erika looked about with gleeful eyes and jumped at the chance. I like it. Well, since Erika seems so interested, let's all try and solve it together, just like last year. I bet Erika's gonna be like, no, I don't need your help. You guys clearly suck. I can do this myself. I'll make some coffee. Raise your hand if you want some. Not for you, Maria. You won't be able to sleep. I want to drink black coffee. Don't they get you excited? Riddles like this? I love them. Erika said that and smiled. Though she must have known that she just ticked Jessica off and made the atmosphere sour, she just smiled nonchalantly. See? Without even waiting for the crime on October 5th, there's a riddle you can solve. I've tried to solve it many times myself. But you didn't have a clue, so you gave up and stopped thinking. Right? It pissed me off, but I don't have a good counter for that. After all, I don't get the epitaph at all. I don't even know what the beloved hometown means, much less the parts about the Sweetfish River and the key. Thinking that a few more hints would show up if I waited, I kept on waiting and just stopped thinking. Have you figured out an answer of your own? Because I'm about to solve it. What? This is where Burns solved the riddle of the epitaph. I'd expect no less from the Witch of Miracles. If a riddle is solvable, she can solve it without fail, regardless of the difficulty. How many years did it take to solve this one? That's rude. I only fished through a few hundred fragments. You really are terrifying. You aren't going to cheat by suddenly saying the answer in red or something like that, right? Don't worry. Just like you, I follow the rules as a player. Well, shall we begin? It's cramped here. Why don't we talk over the sea? Okay. Don't get queasy, battler. Oh, what do you mean, the sea? Is he going on an adventure? I thought the whole world had turned pitch black, and the next moment, I was struck by a strange floating sensation. This must be what it feels like to suddenly have the floor drop from under you, sending you into a bottomless pit. What the hell is happening? When I looked, I saw that the two witches and I had been thrown into a pitch black universe. Okay. In this space, every direction was covered in an endless darkness. It felt like a limitless expanse filled with countless glittering objects. Some people might have likened it to the depths of an ocean where innumerable sparkling fragments drifted. Didn't she tell you not to get queasy? If you want the concept of gravity, just create it yourself, okay? Come on, calm down and look at us. Come on, don't we look like we're just fine? Believe that your feet are on the ground and that you're being controlled by gravity. If you do that, you'll find your equilibrium. Wasn't that the same thing that was said to George when he was... Or am I just, like, imagining that that was something that was said to George when he was caught with the... Or not caught, but when he went on his flying magical journey with Beatrice at some point. Why does it feel so familiar? I don't know. Maybe I'm just going insane. Yes, the two witches are standing normally, as if their feet were planted on transparent pieces of glass. I'm the only one floating about like someone in a rapidly plummeting elevator. When I saw that they were doing just fine, I started calming down, figuring that there was no need to be scared. Then, just as Lambda Delta said, I gritted my teeth and kept telling myself that there was a place to stand here, and that I had to stay calm. Whoa. Very good, very good. What's your name? Ushiromiya Battler. Who else do I look like? Okay. You mustn't lose your will, emotions, or form. After all, this is the ocean. If you lose your purpose, you'll fall into the depths of eternity and become a scrap of ocean seaweed. Be careful. I don't get what Lambda Delta's saying, but I should calm down for the time being. Seems that I regain my equilibrium the more I calm down. Gradually, that weird floating feeling, like I was falling forever, began to disappear. Still felt strange, like trying to stand up straight at the bottom of a deep pool, but it was much better than before. The hell is happening? Then, let's begin. I'll weave together some fragments for solving the riddle of the epitaph. I'm debating if I should just end it here. If we call it a day. For, obviously, Umineko. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do cliffhanger. We'll save there. We'll save there. Though the thing is, I should be back. We should be joining back in Umineko tomorrow night, Tuesday night. So it won't be that long of a, I guess, a cliffhanger. But I guess we'll see what the answer to the riddle, how to solve it, how she solves it, maybe. I think that's what we'll do. I will end Umineko there, but I will stick around. I'm still going to be on, as the title suggests, I'm going to switch to and pivot to Cuphead after a quick little BRB. I wanted to get to a bit more of that today as well, so we'll play Cuphead for just a little bit, probably not super long, like I said, Umineko Tuesday night. Start of Starfield Wednesday night. And then Friday, maybe something. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do Friday night. But Starfield Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll do Umineko Tuesday night like we normally have been. And obviously Umineko also Saturday night. So, what did I do? 3 to 5 bosses last time? I think so. That sounds right. Three or so bosses of Cuphead on Isle 2. So, yeah, we'll get into that. I'll throw up a BRB. I gotta go to the restroom and everything. I've been retaining for a while there. So, yeah, I'm gonna start Starfield. It should be a fun time. It'll be a fun, relaxing time, I think, for a stream series here. So, if you are departing, if you're not gonna stick around for Cuphead, have a nice rest of your Monday. Take it easy and all that. Like I said, I'll throw up a BRB here. I'm gonna get some water and stuff, and then I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, and I'll get Cuphead loaded up. So, be back shortly.